Talking at once.
All right, well, good morning and welcome back for day 2 of round 2 of Klutch Kicker's 100K Drift Series here at MidPond. So drivers are lined up, ready to go, already had their practice session, kept it kind of quick this morning. Everybody's ready to get started, ready to get this comp over with so that they can go home with some serious cash. And today we're actually going to start you out with one by run. Unfortunately, Zach Poloff did had to bow out from his battle against Adam from Beast Coast. So Ardondo is going to be going by himself for a quick by run. So we're going to let him do his thing. He's probably going to put on a little bit of a show for us. He's been driving really hard this morning during practice. So yeah, we'll get us started with the by run, unfortunately, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how it is sometimes. Every once in a while, you got a by run. So not a bad way to fire up the morning at all.
Yeah, and I'm already hearing that Sarah's been busy this morning. She's got Diego lined up for an interview. So as soon as we get Adam squared away with his by run, we'll pass it over to her to do a quick interview. So we'll pass it over to her to do a quick interview with him.
I don't know.
All right, so here goes Adam for his by run. Still just kind of playing it safe, it looks like, but nah, he's not playing it safe. Look at him. A little shallow on that
way
second
shallow.
hour. Yeah.
That's all right. It's a by run.
I was about to say. He did go a little shallow on that first one as well.
He's still, whoa.
He's been loving that bank here lately.
Yeah, he chewed into it a little bit yesterday, so that's all right, though.
All right, well, while we get the other drivers staged up, we're going to pass it over to our friends Sarah and Diego to get us up to speed with what Diego's been up to. Sarah, you ready for us?
I am. Good morning, guys. Thank you so much. We didn't get a chance to talk to this gentleman yesterday, so I wanted to get Diego Deleo over here. He's actually going to face the driver that we just saw. We had the pleasure of watching his by run here. Little bobble. Does that make you a little more comfortable in your battle that's about to happen?
Yeah, I feel a little bit more confident just watching that run in a good way, not saying it arrogantly or nothing like that. But it is nice to know your competition and know what's going on outside that is not in your car.
Absolutely, and that's one aspect of it. But on the other side, how's your car been behaving this weekend? Any troubles? Anything your crew had to face this weekend?
I had a slave cylinder explode on my T56 on Friday. That exploded yesterday on my second practice run. I drove a Taylor hole, and I smacked into him. His supercharger pulley flew off, disappeared into the night, and I hit him, broke a tie rod. But we got that fixed in like 10 minutes. So everything's good on the car. Everything's running really good. Hopefully, knock on wood somewhere.
He's going to knock on wood real quick. And you get the pleasure of enjoying this weekend with your dad. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. Him and I share a lot of the same passions. We go on the boat, stuff like that. This is another thing we got going on now. Probably won't ever come back out of it. It is nice to spend more and more time with him. So he already went home. He's tired and hot and sweaty. So I'm going to try to take it home. H-Town repping. Let's see what happens.
All right, well, luckily he gets to watch the live stream. You're all suited up. I'll let you get the car ready. Thank you so much. Good luck. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Sad to see Frank go. We know he had to leave yesterday. Unfortunately, he got knocked out of the competition, but super cool to see him out there with his son doing some rad stuff coming out of Drift Week. So not sure what's going on with Trevor Johnstone's car. He was supposed to be going up against Gindle. So it looks like Grindel's going to have to do his by run as well. We heard yesterday Trevor was having some issues with second gear. So that may be part of his issue for today. He may not have been able to get that squared away.
I believe that Trevor has opted out as well. Was chatting with him about the transmission issue that he's having, and he's having to shift out of the outer zone 1. He's having to upshift, and the upshift is not working. It's creating problems, and in order to protect the cars of the follow drivers, I believe he is taking a step back and bowing out in order to not create unnecessary damage, which is a tough choice, but a very kind choice. You know, it's just trying to look out for the homies that are out here ripping. You don't want to cause an accident with a known problem.
Absolutely.
And I think they were debating on that, but seeing Gindle run solo, I'm going to go ahead and say that I think they're done for the weekend.
Yeah, that's unfortunate to hear. Trevor's a great competitor, especially going up against Gindle. That would have been an awesome battle, but oh, you've got a little friend there.
Butterfly.
A little butterfly. But yeah, it's unfortunate to see this, but we'll see Gindle go up against a battle here. Seems like looking at the bracket, which we'll get that bracket shared with you in the live stream here in just a minute. I believe he's going to be going up against Nunez in the Miata, so that's going to be a fun little battle.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. That little Miata is flying on those
he's
small little tires.
Indeed. All right, so looks like next up we've got Novak and Harry Spencer,
All
East
right.
Coast.
East Coast boys, Novak, ATL gang. All righty. Should be our first battle. Firing up. Good morning to the chat and to everybody watching. Diego pulling back out on the course. Diego, fresh out of his interview, going back out on course. And here goes Novak and Spencer. First battle of the day, let's get going. Novak looking a little shallow in the outer zone 1, but getting after it. Gets that outer zone. Spencer seemed a little straighten out a little bit. Oh,
A little more.
cone goes tip.
Quite a bit of gappage there from Novak between Spencer.
All right.
That's still a good run.
Good run, little warm-up run for the morning. And we got the replay. Let's see, Mr. Novak. He's got his bumper on the line there, so he was in there.
Yeah.
Made his
Barely
way
skirted
nice.
by.
Yeah, made his way nicely to the touch and go. Little straighten out from the follow car, but not too bad. Still staying in there. Nick bumped the cone and it hopped and stayed on there, so that's pretty good proximity to the inner clip. All right. Looks like both drivers are lined back up. All right. Lights are on. Let's go. Spencer out front. Novak making a hard charge in there right away. Both drivers get to the touch and go. Whoa, Spencer goes
wide.
way off, pulls the front right wheel way up in the air. And he's wide again, but he stays on it, keeps it on the track. He's running the bro line. And Harry Spencer running the wide line out there and managing to hang on to it in a couple different corners. He was definitely feeling the outer zones all the way out. Novak managing to hang in there with him, so.
See, we may not have a replay of that one, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Jinxed myself.
Just got to give him a second with the drone there.
I believe this is the first run. Yeah, this is. Which is fine. It's good to see. Boop. Just a
That little
refresh.
cone
Yeah.
boop cracks me up.
We'll have the second replay up. Well, it didn't take the judges much time to deliberate. Unfortunately for Harry Spencer, Novak is going to get the win here. So Harry Spencer, I believe that is his second loss, so he will be going home. Just a reminder, we do have double elimination for clutch kickers now. That means if you get knocked out in your first battle, you do still have a chance to redeem yourself in a loser's bracket. And I have to correct myself. Yesterday, I had mistakenly said that I thought Cabot was going home, but that was his first loss.
Yeah.
So he will be back today to compete. He's already been warming up, and of course, typical Cabot fashion, already slaying on the track.
Oh,
So Apollo, yeah, there it
There's
is.
that replay where he dropped the tire heavy, missed that inner clip, which probably had a big
Yikes.
decision on the judges, and then goes way back outside. Right tire off, but stays in it. But yeah, the judges are going to give that one to Nick Novak. Congratulations, taking the win and moving on. But as Terry was just saying, I was actually also caught up. I saw Cabot out there in practice ripping today, and I was like, oh yeah, double elimination bracket is still confusing to me, and he's still ripping, and I'm glad to see it because he's still got a chance to get in the show. So.
Well, still in the show are Brandon Bass and Danny Morse.
Yep. Oh, Danny Morse with a big correction into the first corner, but he's staying on it. The little UZ that could is chasing down Bass in the Supra. Brandon getting around the track pretty nicely on the lead run here. Filling out those outer zones nicely. Daniel Morris getting back in it. Had that something going on right in the front there. Hopefully he can sort that out on his lead run, see what he can do.
Yeah, I would have loved to see a little bit more proximity out of Danny because we know he's an aggressive driver. He's had a kind of a tough weekend as well. Had to drop the transmission in his car on Friday to get ready for comp on Saturday. So he's had a busy weekend for sure. So hopefully we can see the fantastic driving we're accustomed to seeing from Danny in his lead run.
Yep, let's see how it goes. Drivers are pulling back around.
Of course, Brandon Bass lives about 15 minutes away from here. Pretty sure he street drove his car to the comp, which is pretty common for him.
That's, yeah, just a nice 15-minute cruise in the race car on a wonderful summer weekend, you know. Personally, I enjoy doing the same, but my car's not a real race car. His is a real race car. Mine's a fake race car. It still gets groceries.
I can't believe it's not race car.
I know.
Spray.
I should have probably make my car race car, but I love street car. Maybe I'll build one someday. All right, here we go. Danny Morris up front. So looking for a little redemption in that first corner. Brandon Bass right behind him. And I mean right behind him.
Yeah.
Heading into outer zone. It looks like they both got it. Brandon straightens
Brandon's
out
great.
big time, way on the inside. Morris taking a cone for a ride into outer zone 3, but hanging in there. Brandon jumping back in, but he again is running shallow to keep up. Both drivers filling outer zone 4 nicely and getting back into formation. Wonder what happened on that, going from outer zone 1 to the touch and go, right about the touch and go. Something happened there. Brandon's super straight now. We'll see how that pans out as both drivers made a pretty serious errors in or around the first and second corners. So right here you can see the transition. Brandon gets a little bit shallow, and then right when he's trying to kind of work it out, the car grips up and straightens out. He's able to reinitiate, but he's way inside. Cost him a lot of angle as Morris fills the third outer zone pretty nicely there, and then both drivers into zone 4. Sounds like the FDF Corvette's firing up in the pits back here. Both drivers are at the line as we wait for the verdict.
Well, while we wait for a verdict, we'll pass it over to Sarah. Sounds like she's got a driver here with her to do a quick interview.
Thank you so much, guys. I do have Harry Spencer here. He decided to be a good sport and give me a minute of his time. You did lose your last battle, but overall, how's the weekend been? How's it been for you out here at MidPond?
It's actually been a blast. This is my first time out here. I've never been at MidPond before. I've only got to drive it on a Seto, and this track is amazing. A lot of good community out here, a lot of good drivers out here. It's just been a great time, big learning experience, and I got to battle some really good drivers, so I'm not even butthurt about losing to Novak. It is what it is. At least I can say I lost to a pro. That's all I can say.
Absolutely, and I had no idea this was your first time because you've been absolutely shredding. Can we count on you for some rounds in the future?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll be back for sure because I'm about to start transitioning my whole system to over just to competing instead of just doing fun run stuff. So yes, I'll definitely be back.
Awesome, great to hear. I'll let you get some shade, cool down. Thank you so much for your time. Up to you guys in the booth.
All right, thank you, Harry Spencer, for your participation. We appreciate it, and we love to hear that you're coming back.
Yeah, and I agree. If you're gonna lose, may as well lose to a pro.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, pretty much. You might as well lose to one of the best. That's how you get better. Yeah, great attitude. Got a great crew out here, and we hope to see more drivers coming up to get in the competition.
Got Diego in the burnout box getting warmed up while we still wait for the decision from the judges on the Brandon Bass, Danny Morse battle. All right, well, judges have just let us know the battle between Danny and Brandon Bass is going to be an OMT. So one more time for these drivers. We'll send them back to the pits so that they can get tires changed out, and we'll get ready for our next battle, which I do believe is going to be, apologies, it's going to be Adam Ardondo versus Diego. That is correct. It would help if I refresh my bracket. There we go. So another Beast Coast boy. We just did an interview with Harry, one of his friends and partners in crime.
What?
They've been out here shredding all weekend. So now he's going to go up against Diego, who you just saw do an interview as well. So lots of great drivers out here this weekend. Lots of excitement. Just waiting for clearance to send these drivers, and should be pretty close here. You good? Poor Austin. Poor Austin's been on a leaning stool all weekend. Had a little bit of a
Well, it's just
little stanky leg there.
I don't know how to work these stools, but I'm figuring it out. And you know, personally, me and the stool have a little beef. But yeah, I just kicked the stool into submission, Office Space style.
Had to mute the mic so y'all couldn't hear all the beat down that was happening. All right,
Yeah.
looks like we're ready to send Diego and Adam on their way. Diego in the
right.
lead, Adam in the chase. Diego starting out nice and wide.
Yep, getting that outer zone, heading straight for the touch and go, and he's deep into outer zone 2. Adam kind of struggling to keep up. Solid run. Diego's looking pretty good. He's ready for competition. All right, I don't know if it was mentioned while I was fighting my stool, but we have the bracket on the Clutch Kickers live stream chat posted. The link is up in case anyone wants to try and follow along as we get into this competition today.
Yep, and just a reminder, we still have our losers bracket to go through. So actually, yeah, that may be where we're at right now. Just
Yeah, we're
looking
actually
at
starting with the losers bracket
Yep.
today because we ended with the winners bracket
that is
yesterday.
correct. Yep, I forgot because Cabot's in here right now. Yep.
Correct. So
Not
Yeah.
used to seeing Cabot in a loser bracket, but man, it's good to see him still maybe in a, still being able to come back in.
well, looks like we got the replay on there, and yeah, the Z had a bit of a straighten out of zone 1 and couldn't quite catch up with Diego after that. That's one of the things about these pro level cars, and you know, any car that's set up like these guys to compete in any competition series. If you lose a little bit of ground and the lead driver's on it, it's pretty tough to catch back up and get back in there. But here we go. Lights are on. Lights off. Lights Out Loud Productions. All right.
Oh,
Oh.
Adam goes way off.
Yep. And Diego passes. Actually, don't know how the judges are going to feel about that.
I believe that was 2 tires off,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So
But I don't think they're supposed to pass. Adam on the wide line.
Adam's still trying to finish his run, though, filling out that
Yeah.
outer zone nicely as he makes it across the finish line.
I can't remember exactly what the judges said in the drivers' meeting yesterday about passing, but I'm not sure. I know obviously Adam made a major mistake there as we go to the replay. Here we got. Oh, he hit that one bump. Okay, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam's 2 tires off, so that's clearly a 0. I think the pass is going to be notated by the judges, but not held against Diego because the car was so far off the track.
Yep.
So just a quick shot of that first part there to see what's going on for the viewers.
Well, while we wait for the judges to deliberate, just a reminder that we have 3 more rounds to go of our season here at MidPond. First season here at MidPond, I should say. Round 3, September 26th through 28th. Round 4, October 24th through 26th. And then, of course, round 5, our big finale, November 21st through 23rd. That will be when we see the real championship dollars come out to play. If you are interested in seeing what the dollar payouts are for this comp, be sure to check out clutchkickers.com. There is a payout section of the website, so you can see what these drivers are getting paid. If you're interested in getting paid as well, we invite you to come register and join in on these battles.
Please, we want more drivers out here. Get in on all these rounds. We got a few good rounds left.
Don't just talk smack in the chat.
Yeah. Come out here and put up or shut up. We want to see it. Think you got what it takes? Come drive.
Lots of big things happening here at MidPond. Clutch Kickers was just sort of the icing on the cake. Ken had purchased the land next to the track not too long ago, about a year ago actually, and immediately started clearing trees for a track expansion project. So that's all the construction that you see. For those of you who have not joined us for round 1 or were not able to join us yesterday, that's what is happening on that side. So lots of spectator parking, going to be some camping areas, as well as a whole new track. So there'll be some surfacing happening here probably next year. We were forecasted originally to finish up that project at the end of this year, but hey.
There's no way we could plan that deadline.
No.
And we don't know enough to know exactly what's going on, but we hope that it's going to schedule, and we know that it's worth the wait. That's the major thing. We are here for it the whole time. We're driving, we're coming to these events, not just Clutch Kickers, but other events at MidPond. And that's it from the judges. It looks like Diego gets the win.
Congratulations, Diego. Great driving from Adam this weekend, though. It was good to see him come out with his Beast Coast boys. We look forward to seeing them for future rounds.
All right, we're going to send it to Sarah in the pits for a quick interview with our shirtless favorite wonder, Kashad.
I tried, guys. I did ask him to put a shirt on. In his defense, it's absolutely filthy because you were doing a trans until after midnight last night.
Yeah, we didn't get a clutch. About 12:30, we got a clutch in. I did some street passes. It felt good, and it's feeling pretty good in practice. So, I got to wear my lucky charm today,
And your crew behind you definitely believes in you. You haven't lost yet, so you're still up in the winner's bracket. You have 2 chances.
God's on my side. That's all I'm finna say.
All right, and how do you feel about your teammate about to go up against Nick Novak?
Oh, man. Hey, put it in his door, baby. You know what to do.
All right, I'll let you guys get to it, and I'll ask one more time to please put a shirt on. Put your suit on, maybe. Get suited up.
I'm running up the views. Y'all know that.
Leave that shirt
All right,
off.
thank you. Back to you guys.
Oh, I got woken up this morning by the sound of him doing passes to test out that new clutch. Nothing like hearing his car screaming past my trailer at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my God.
But glad he was able to get it done. But here is our OMT battle against Brandon Bass and Danny Morse.
Let's get that one more time going. Brandon Bass, Victory Motorsports, MK3 Supra. Daniel Morse.
Yankee special.
Yes. Yankee Special, S13 Hatch Aruski. Pretty clean run there from the boys.
Very nice. Dustin Miles, we see you in the chat. We look forward to seeing you register. It'd be nice to see you out here, man.
Get out here, Dustin. That was a pretty good run. Looks like Daniel was cutting a little bit to try and keep up on that outer zone 2. But let's see how this lead goes. If Brandon could hold it together, might have it. Let's check a little replay out here. Brandon throwing it in. Pretty good in the outer zone. Bumper's definitely clear. Gets a little gap on Daniel heading into the touch and go and into outer zone 2. Daniel tries to shallow up a little bit to keep up, but Brandon staying on the throttle, completely filling out outer zone 3. And a little shallow on 4, but not too bad. Gets in there for the last half of it and finishes out strong. Good run from the boys. Let's see their line back up. The lights are on, and here we go. Daniel Morris out front. Brandon Bass in the chase.
UZ versus JZ.
That's right. UZ versus God's engine. And I'm not biased at all.
No. You?
Oh, Brandon jumping in there towards towards the touch and go and trying to dive in tight on outer zone 2. Maybe too tight. He makes a little correction there and has to go inside. Cones are flying as drivers go into outer zone 3, and Brandon trying to really put some pressure on and get that proximity closed up. Brandon definitely making a showing that he wants to move on to the next round. Unfortunately, he might have gotten a little too aggressive going into outer zone 2, but let's check the replay here. Daniel doing a great job of filling outer zone 1. Both drivers cruising, catching the touch and go. Brandon really shallow in that same spot as the last time, and then dives in, but it's just a little too much, and a pretty tough correction there trying to get the inside clip. And then at that outer zone 4, Brandon is right there for it. We'll see if that's enough to take away from the correction. See how the judges feel about that. The drivers are at the line and waiting for the call. Oh wait, this is their second, one more. They get 2 runs? I'm confused. It's too early for me to be this confused.
Just
All right,
waiting
we got
on
a
their
nice-
verdict.
Got a nice view of our starting line there. Josh Thomas holding it down, getting ready to relay information. You might not recognize him without his cowboy hat, but he said he's going to have it for next round because that sun's getting him out there.
I can only imagine. I was out there catching cones on Friday during practice. It's miserable.
Yeah. I love the summertime and I love drifting, but drifting in the summertime, you know.
Hard pass.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it again. But I don't always like it. I'll like it a lot more when my car has AC again. Don't crash your drift car, kids. You'll ruin your AC system. The most important part of any street drift car, the air conditioning system. If you're listening and you're getting into drifting and you're thinking about removing your interior or your AC or your heat from a car that is driven on the street, please stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect any of those things. Just keep it in, leave it in. It's not worth the weight savings. Don't make the same mistakes we all made in 2007. Gutting every single S13 in town. I know.
Have you really survived like drifting in the early 2000s if you haven't gutted an S13 though? I mean, that's kind of like par for the course. Guilty as charged.
It happens to the best of us. I was an RX-7 kid, so.
Well, while we're waiting for the judges to continue deliberating, we understand it's going to be a tough decision. But as I was mentioning earlier, this is an aerial shot from our drone pilot, Corey Gamble. Giving us a little bird's eye view of the construction. You can kind of see some of these are paths for where the construction vehicles are coming through, but we are starting to carve out what will be the track. There are forecasted track maps, or mock-ups, if you will, that are posted on the MidPond Facebook page. So be sure to look for those, kind of give you an idea of what the track is going to look like. The idea is going to be that we can run 2 consecutive tracks simultaneously. So you'll have one track going. It could be mini moto, it could be kart track, it could be grip, drift, whatever, while the other track does the exact same thing or has different events. It just all the things that are possible here at MidPond. Resurfacing is going to be a huge thing for us here as well. The drivers have been fantastic. Most of them have said they don't even notice the track is in rough condition because they're just so aggressively driving in it to win it. But we certainly know that the track needs to be resurfaced. So
But
that is coming.
It's happening. And this is a really cool view of everything going on as the drone flies around. And check out that great view of MidPond Raceway right here in Columbiana, Alabama. Beautiful view of this track that we love so much. And you can see the size of everything and the pits and everything that we've been working with all these years. And Ken has done a beautiful job of packing drivers in there for a lot of crazy events. And all of us have been stoked on the program, and we're ready for that expansion to just keep it going.
Absolutely. Well, sounds like we do have a final verdict from our judges. Danny Morse is going to get the win here. So congratulations, Danny Morse. You are moving on. Brandon Bass, we know you're not going to be out for long. We will see you for round 3. Him and his new family got 2 new twin boys, his beautiful little daughter, lovely wife. Looking forward to seeing you back here for round 3.
Yep. Local Ripper. Brandon is out, and Daniel will move on. Both drivers fully dedicated, working on their cars. Yesterday morning, Brandon and his team were welding things back together under the Supra like first thing in the morning, and Daniel had to replace that transmission after either before or right after practice. So both of these drivers committed, trying to get through the weekend. Daniel will move on, and we will look forward to seeing Brandon at the next round.
All right, well, this is a battle I've been looking forward to. Gosh, Cameron has, I know it feels like we've almost been picking on Cameron because he's got, you know, the little Miata running 195s while, you know, a lot of these guys are running 265 tires, 255s. And here comes Cameron and his little Miata going up against Andrew Grindle. So that's one heck of a competitor to go up against.
We'll see if he can keep up with
I think
that.
Cameron can. Been talking to his dad. We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
He's been flying in that little Miata. He has been ripping in that thing. He's still figuring the car out and dialing it in. Oh, it sounds like we have an issue with one of the cars.
Oh no.
Hold on one second. I'm getting trackside info at this moment. All right, we were hyping the Miata up there, and it looks like he is overheating at the moment. So I think we're going to. Did I just hear
let's.
right? We're going to go to Sarah.
While we let Cameron cool off, we figure out what we need to do to get these cars cooled down. We'll pass over to Sarah. Sarah, you ready for us?
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. I've got Adam Ardondo here with his Z. You've had a bit of a tough weekend so far. Do you want to fill me in on what's going on?
Yeah. Car has been giving me problems. She's been really reliable the entire time I've had it. But this entire weekend, gone through 2 belts, power steering pump, slave cylinder. My brake master just went out, and I think my clutch master's starting to go out too. So it's been fun, great experience. First time out here. I'm loving it. It's been awesome.
Again, like your teammate, I never would have guessed that this is your first time at MidPond because you've been shredding, but it sounds like you kind of a laundry list. Competition's very hard on the cars. Can we count on you at another round?
I'm pretty sure I'll be out here next month. Next round.
Awesome. That's so great. You can have a chance to, you know, shake it down, fix some of these things. So hopefully you have a better experience next time. But thank you so much for coming out. Car looks great. Anything else you want to add or say about the?
No, I just want to shout out to everybody watching back in Florida and everybody back home, friends, family. Miss you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll let you get some shade.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thank you, Adam, for coming out. Thank you, Beast Coast. You guys coming out to your first time here at MidPond and just throwing down. We appreciate that so much.
Well, still waiting to hear. Cameron's still out there. Not sure if he's going to have to take his competition time out to let the car cool down.
Yeah, it looks like he's hooked up to the Crown Vic and getting pulled off the track right now. So hopefully he can get that taken care of. I'm not sure. Again, as Tara just mentioned, maybe he gets a timeout. We don't have that word yet, but unfortunately the little Miata that could on those 195s, it's just about to get some and overheating. So competition, again, very hard on these cars, and he's been driving that thing all weekend. So, hey, it looks like we're going to go right back to Sarah in the pits here for another interview.
Busy.
And she is holding it down, so
Yeah,
let's get
we
back
have.
there.
Thank you, guys. We have Daniel Morse here. I bothered him the second that his car came in the pits, so we'll get him out here. We were letting him enjoy some shade, but congratulations on your win there. I see the team prepping it behind us. Is the car getting hot? What are they doing?
Yeah. So Alabama is hot, a lot like Arkansas. UZs natively stay really hot, but with all the grip we've got dialed on the car to make the 245s hook, because 265s blow up transmissions, it transfers basically to heat created in the engine. So we're coming off track like 220, so kind of close.
And speaking of transmissions, you guys already did a trans at this particular event.
Yeah, just one round of clutch kickers, one round of transmissions, every single clutch kickers.
Jeez, all right. There's no Dr. Pepper to cool us down today, so I'll let you go ahead and get back to it. Let them continue to cool the car down with the sprayers. Try to keep those temps under control, and we'll keep the driver under control as well. Thank you so much. Good luck on your next battle. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And congratulations, Danny. Look forward to seeing you more.
Yep. Everyone can see in the background during that interview, they got the sprayer just pumping it up and spraying water all over the radiator and trying to keep these cars cool. Those water sprayers are lifesavers. Whether or not you're competing in a professional series or you're a grassroots driver, go get yourself a pump sprayer. You come off the course, you spray down the radiator, you can spray down your tires. It helps with the life of your tire. And it also just helps cool things down so much faster to get a little spritz of water on the radiator and up front in the car.
Yeah.
But, yep, they're trying to keep temps regulated out here.
Yeah, keeping anything regulated in the summer in Alabama is a little difficult, but
It's rough, but, oh, there's Cameron.
yeah, here comes Cameron getting pulled in. Unfortunately, I think he is going to have to take his competition time out to get the car cooled down. Hopefully, it was just a little bit of overheating. He can get it cooled down quickly and can get back out on the track for his battle.
Yep.
I am getting confirmation that Gindle is actually going to do a buy run. So that is unfortunate. I'm not quite sure what that's going to mean for Cameron.
I think that means he's out. I hate to say it. I think that means that if they're letting Gindle do a buy run, I think that Cameron's done for the weekend.
Oh, he didn't have his 5.
Oh, okay. We have a quick update from the pit crew. Unfortunately, Cameron Nunez had already used his 5-minute timeout, which means when he had that overheating problem on the line, he is done because he does not have the time to fix it. So, sad way to, end the day. But, again, he's been ripping all weekend. We hope that he comes on back for round 3. And, he's been putting his heart out in that little car and ripping it up. Miatas are not easy to drive. They're short wheelbase. It's got a lot of power. So we look forward to seeing him out here some more. And it sounds like Andrew Gindle's going to get a buy run, and we're going to keep on rolling.
Yeah. Well, Gindle's still a fantastic competitor. He's been driving, again, very consistent all weekend. So he is going to be one heck of a contender as we get ready to go into our finals here.
And we got Gindle taking his buy run. Taking a nice lap there, getting the outer zone, getting a touch and go in outer zone 2 nicely. Ooh, a little loose, and he's off. All right, Gindle completing a little buy run, getting a little quick practice before we move along.
Well, this one should be fun. We got Dustin Motors against Nick Novak.
All right, should be a solid battle. Looks like Nick Novak is at the burnout box checking something out. Actually, I see Nick at the back of his E46 BMW. Looks like he's jumping back in there.
Signing his bumper.
Signing his own bumper. Who is this guy? There is no back bumper.
I was about to say, not much of a bumper there, my friends.
He can't even sign his back bumper. That's a back trim piece.
This is what we get from listening to the Peanut Gallery here on the back porch. Looks like his hood's off too, so he's probably same as all the drivers here fighting. getting out of the car again. Oh, man.
All right, car failures continue.
Sounds
And,
like Novak's going to have to get towed off as well. Car failure, no details on what specifically is failing. But unfortunately, Nick is going to have to get towed off as well.
Now, I don't know if he's in the same position as Nunez, but I don't think he took any timeout, so hopefully he gets a 5-minute timeout. We will let you guys know as soon as we know.
Yeah, I didn't realize Cameron had taken a timeout yesterday.
Me neither. I must have missed it whenever it happened. I mean, in the heat of the moment, it just slipped by us.
Yeah.
But let's.
Well,
it's
Well, it sounds like we'll go ahead and send it over to Sarah for a quick driver interview, and Dustin will get his bye run.
It's a little bit loud over here, guys. Sorry about that. Once we get Josiah clear, we put a tripod in his way a little bit. Unfortunately, you were not able to continue due to a mechanical failure, and you used your timeout. Do you want to fill us in what happened?
Yeah, so earlier in the week, well, yesterday, I had to pull a 5-minute because we were having electrical issues with the ignition. So the way we had to fix it was just a temporary fix, and it wasn't able to last sitting out there in grid. So it ended up overheating and causing electrical fires. So,
Geez, that is an absolute bummer, but it's extremely hot out here. The cars are being pushed to their limits. Have you had a good weekend overall aside from that issue?
yeah, of course. This is a great experience, being able to push the car against some of these bigger, more professional cars out here that's built to do this.
Well, you've been absolutely shredding this little Miata on the tiny tires. That's all anyone could talk about up in the booth and the chat. So hopefully we'll see you at another round. Thank you so much. We'll let you get some shade. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right. Well, Cameron, sorry to see you go, but hope to see you back again.
Yep, thanks for coming out. The little Miata that could. Shredding in that thing. Small tire, small wheel cars that fly are always cool.
All right. Well, looks like Dustin is going to take his bye run, but he's going to take it easy.
Is it a buy run?
That's what I would assume. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's correct.
I don't know
Nick
if,
is taking
I don't know
his,
if Nick
yeah,
got a
it's not gonna be
5-minute
run.
timeout. And
Yep.
he's not, yeah, I think he's just
Sorry.
pulling off
yeah,
track.
he's just going to pull off
So
since
it's
Novak
possible
is
that
doing
Novak is getting a 5-minute timeout.
Yep.
We can hope so. Hopefully they'll get that battle going in just a minute. So let's see what's going on here. Sure where we are in the bracket. Okay, right there.
Yeah, so after this we should have Cabot.
And then it'll be Daniel, I think, or yeah, because he was down there at the bottom.
Yeah, let me refresh the bracket here real quick.
Right.
I wasn't seeing Cabot's competitor. Yeah, Danny Morris, you are correct.
All right. Yeah, we'll
Not
see.
Danny Worse.
Bit of
We're
a
never going to let Will live that down,
yeah,
by the way.
bit of a typing mistake there, you know. Trying to speed type and it maybe fat finger a little bit of a W with an M there, but it happens.
It does.
Looks like we got Nick Novak behind us being towed off, so hopefully he can get that fixed up. In the meantime, I hear Cabot pulling out on the course. I see Josiah staged up, so we've got a couple things going on and shuffling around here. Looks like Daniel is out there ready to go, so I can't say for sure, but I'm assuming that they're going to let these guys run while the timeout's going to keep the show rolling.
All right, well, Nick is safely off the track. Cabot's warming up. Danny right behind him. Cabot Cardoso, just shy of 21 years old. Been driving this track since he was 15. Probably younger than that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was right around that time.
It was around
he was
that
either
time.
14 or 15 when he came out here. He was on the waiver system where he had to have the parentals sign all the waivers, which is awesome.
Yeah.
There's a few kids local to my area that did that, and both of them are absolutely shredding now at the similar age. And Cabot is obviously one of the heavy rippers in this field. Him and that 350Z are insanely fast, almost too fast. It seems like it's hard for him to follow some cars because that Z is so locked in and so gripped that, you know, it's like he has to perfectly time being behind a slower car. But when he's out front, he is on the move.
Yeah, it's certainly a challenge for a driver. It's not just how fast you can go, but how fast you can drive with a car that is not as fast as you.
Yeah.
You know,
Here they go. Cabot out front.
Danny all the way from Arkansas, sticking close to Cabot, at least for that first.
And he's gone.
And he's gone.
Looks like Cabot was a little shallow in that first zone, but he definitely filling outer zone 2. Danny trying to pick up some speed, but Cabot's in the groove. Nicely filling outer zone 3 and 4. Danny not letting him get too far away and trying to make up some ground there. But coming out of outer zone 1 into the touch and go, he was definitely flying. Here we go with a little replay. And on the replay, it looks like, yeah, Cabot, he's a little shallow on 1. Definitely came out of it, but stayed on it and then just zooming through the touch and go into outer zone 2. Good angle. Gets back in, just gets over that inner clip, sets up for outer zone 3, manages to stay in it, perfectly filling outer zone 3, and then both drivers into outer zone 4. Very nice.
But I will say, other than coming right out of turn 1, Danny did a pretty good job of staying close.
Absolutely.
So good proximity.
Good proximity. Once he got in there, about zone 3 there, he started to tuck in. Yeah, he still kind of got gapped, but.
All right, well, lights are on, drivers are going. Daniel up front, Cabot in the chase.
Let's see how Cabot regulates his 350Z. He's already pretty close into the outer zone 1. Both drivers heading for the touch and go. Let's see if Cabot can stay on the outside line with him. He does.
Danny not phased, though.
Both drivers get the inside clip. Little cone grab by Cabot. Cabot not letting Danny go anywhere without him right there.
Oh,
little
wobble
correction
there.
by both drivers, but they hang on to it. Solid run. Cabot doing a great job of following there. Let's see, Danny perfectly filling outer zone 1. A whole zone. Had 1 tire in the rumbles, which is technically, I think, a little off, but that's okay. Solid through the touch and go. Comes inside a little early, but they got the inside clip, so set him up for zone 3. Trying to stay all the way out. And into 4. They got a little bit close right here. Looks like Danny straightened out a little bit, but he managed to get it going again. No contact. Cabot mimicked the move and managed to hang on to it.
Well, and it did not take judges long to deliberate. Sounds like Cabot Cardoso has gotten the win. Cabot Cardoso moves on. Danny Morse, unfortunately, does not, but Danny will be back for another round. Hopefully not for another transmission, though. So
Yeah, hopefully he can just come to the rounds without changing his transmissions. But, hey, good on him for absolutely holding it down, changing a transmission, doing what it takes to get out there and to stay out there. And, again, Daniel, we hope to see you at the next one, and Cabot will advance into the next rounds as we see Taylor Hull and Josiah pulling up to the line. This is going to be a great battle. These are 2 of the fastest cars in the field, 2 of the most aggressive drivers, and looking forward to this battle myself as Taylor Hull pulls up in the lead position, Josiah and the FDF Corvette pulling into the chase.
giving Diego a little bit of time. He is moving quick to get on to the track so that we can start our battles. Lights are on, drivers are off.
All right, here we go.
I got to turn around to watch this one. I don't want to watch it on the screen.
All right,
Smoke
here
show
we go.
From Taylor Hull that we're accustomed to seeing.
Nicely into the outer zone 2, all the way in the zone. They get the inner clip. They are flying. Josiah taking it inside to catch up a little bit. Super close on the transition as Josiah dives in on zone 4, right on the freaking door.
That was a great run.
Great run. Exciting run. Here we go. We got a little replay from the drone. Taylor Hull perfectly filling that outer zone right there. Oh, he's actually a little wide on the rumbles, but he got in there. Josiah managing to follow the line perfectly. Both drivers running through the touch and go into outer zone 2, getting the inner clip, a little bit of a cone boop. Josiah coming a little inside to keep up through outer zone 3 as Taylor Hull lays it on him. Really close transition and on the door through zone 4. Oh yeah, that was good.
That was beautiful.
See how it goes as they flip the script.
Taylor Hull known for applying a little pressure in the chase, but I don't think Josiah is going to back down.
Oh no, he's been on the gas all weekend. Looking forward to see how he handles this. All right, Josiah in the Corvette. Taylor Hull in the Corvette that looks like a Monte Carlo.
What did you call it yesterday? The Monte Veto?
Yes, the Monte Veto. G-Body, Monte Veto. That's some, G-Body is hashtag Southern Dreams.
Just waiting on the clearance to send these drivers. Should be staging them up here soon. Were you here when Josiah had the rush car out yesterday?
The what?
That he had the rush car out on the track yesterday?
So that was his.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was his. Yeah, we saw the rush car pull up. I was like, yo.
I assumed it was his. He was driving it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sure it was. I think he was driving at Road Atlanta not that long ago. All right, lights are on.
Here we
Taylor
go.
Hull's creeping. Josiah in the lead. Taylor Hull in the chase. Oh, yeah. Both drivers flying through the touch and go into outer zone 2. Wow. Oh, yeah. They may have brushed bumpers going into outer zone 4. It was so close, it was hard to tell.
Didn't phase either one, though.
All right, let's check that replay with the drone here as Josiah throws it into outer zone 1, fills the zone perfectly. Looks like he had one tire a little wide. No, that's pretty much a perfect outer zone there. Hull right on top of him as they go into the touch and go. Filling outer zone 2 very nicely. Diving back in to get the clip. Both drivers nail the inner clip. Taylor Hull filling that outer zone 3 right on top of Josiah, and then they dive in. God, it had to have barely touched him. And both going through outer zone 4, just door to door. Let's get a quick rewind on that one. Right there. All right, so both drivers coming out outer zone 3, and look how close that transition was. The front left of the 3 car must have just brushed the bumper of Josiah's Corvette.
Well, judges are going to have a lot to deliberate, so while we wait, we're going to pass it over to Sarah in the pits for another driver interview.
Thank you, guys. I have a Cabot Cardoso down here. Had some bad luck with a tire. You ended up in the second chance bracket, but you just won your battle. How are you feeling for competition today?
I'm feeling pretty good. My lead runs are feeling really dialed, so Chase had to be very consistent with it, and because this car is crazy fast. Like, I can't lift. It has that much grip, so I'm feeling really confident and really comfortable, so I'm just here to have a good time.
Awesome, and you joined us for the first round as well. How do you feel about this layout reverse as opposed to the previous layout?
I've been driving this track since I was 12, and I'm 20 now, so I've been lived here basically. So I'm really comfortable with it, but it's a good challenge. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting for the fans, and you have the whole family out here. Your dad's changing your tires right now. Do you want to thank anybody else aside from your dad for helping you get here this weekend?
Yeah, my dad and my mom. She's actually my spotter this weekend, so she's always my spotter, and my sister and my nephew Maui for the moral support and the fun that happens with little kid running around, and yeah, and all my sponsors, of course, for just making me out here and everything.
Of course, and you're making them proud. And again, thank you, Mom. Excellent spotter. Thank you so much. We'll let you get a cool off for a minute. We'll throw it back up to the booth. Back up to you guys.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you, Cabot. Cabot, super exciting to see you out there, man. Whole family. Love his little nephew. Oh, Maui's a little treasure. Little mess. Well,
yeah. Get in there.
Hot Pits, man. So
All
Jeff
right.
Jones got Hot Pit Auto Fest out in California. We know a lot of our viewership here is not in that area, so Southern California area, but you got nothing next weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be too hot. Check out some hot pits.
So yeah, if you could tune in at Hot Pit Auto Fest on YouTube. Hot Pit Auto Fest out of San Bernardino, California, the SoCal Ripper scene. They got competitions, drone races, stunt bike shows, all kinds of stuff going on there in SoCal. So we look forward to checking it out. If you can't be there, check out their live stream at Hot Pit Auto Fest on YouTube and hotpitautofest.com. And as we roll out of that, it is going to be a one more time between Taylor Hull and Josiah, which is not terribly surprising because that's a pretty tough one to judge.
Yeah.
This is one of those times where I'm glad I'm an announcer and not a judge because they got the hardest job ever when it comes down to stuff like this.
Yeah.
Even with the Wally system, it's
Yeah.
still a lot to process and see. Even if you have all the data, sometimes when you just get two drivers who are absolutely ruling, it's tough to call. So they're going to get it one more time. They're pulling off the track right now. I believe they're going to have a minute to change the tires and get freshened up. And so we're going to go into the next battle, which looks like we got Kashad, a.k.a. Camel, and JP Windham in the E46. And the chat's...
Yeah, so I just, so those of you who have not joined us for round one or were here yesterday, we are using a digital judging telemetry system called Wally from Race Data Labs, all the way out of Australia. We've got two of their team members here with us today that are also acting as judges and using Wally as a support system. So I've shared the link in the chat for you so that you can follow along and see all the data that comes with it. So Camel in the lead here, JP Windham in the chase.
Camel rocketing into zone one. JP way inside trying to keep up. And he's back on his door through the touch and go. Camel filling the outer zone 2 nicely, getting the inside clip. Both drivers pretty tight into zone 4. Solid run from the boys. So let's get the replay here. Looks like Camel set the car really nicely in outer zone 1. Unfortunately, JP all the way on the inside.
He
not
initiated
sure what
really
happened.
early.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe just jumped in too soon and couldn't get out. A little bit of a straighten there from Kashad, but both drivers caught the touch and go and then headed into outer zone 2. Again, JP a little bit on the inside, but both drivers get the inner clip.
A textbook from that outer zone 2 from Kashad. Like, filled it out beautifully. A little shallow there in outer zone 3.
Solid run.
All right, got him back around, lined up. We'll put JP in the lead with Camel in the chase. Camel, of course, just changed out his clutch last night, so only has a couple practice laps on it. JP been dealing with some suspension issues, a little bit of alignment issue, but otherwise has been pretty consistent all weekend. Has been trying to fight through, like I said, some alignment things here the last couple of days, but still trying to get used to this car. We're used to seeing him in his black S13, but he seems to be doing really well in this BMW.
Here they go. The lights are on. Lights are off. Lights Out Loud Productions. JP tossing it in. Kashad's right there with him. Whoa, JP putting the gap on, heading towards the touch and go. Oh, Kashad straightening out big time. Looks like something's going on there. I wonder if he's having more clutch problems.
Whoa, nice.
Heavy transition coming out of 3 into 4 for Kashad, trying to make up for some lost ground. Unfortunately, he had a huge straighten as we get to the replay here. Looks like the outer, JP was a little shallow, but he finds his way to the outside towards the end of zone 1. And as they're heading into 2 and he starts to take off, Kashad just completely straightens out. Now that may be related to the clutch issues he was having, because he did change one again last night. He was testing it this morning, and that may have just plagued the car. But it sounds like JP is going to get the win in the E46 BMW and head on.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think with that straighten up that we saw from Camel right there in his chase run, that did lead to him getting a little bit more of a points deduction.
Yeah, he
and
zeroed on that run.
Yeah,
it was a full zero.
It was a full
Yeah.
zero. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So that's going to hurt you. But,
That will, but hey, fantastic competition from Camel and the entire team of Whoops Motorsports. They show up, they show out, they put in a lot of work to be here. So count them down, don't count them out. They'll still be back for more.
Yep. Speaking of which, we got Dustin Motors at the line, and he is getting a bye run, as it sounds like Nick Novak is having to bow out due to mechanical failure with the E46 that he drives. So Dustin Motors in the 350Z is going to take a quick bye run, and then we'll keep it rolling here. Yep, looks like Dustin's getting a bye run. Then we got Diego and Cabot up by the burnout boxes getting ready.
So another Whoops Motorsports driver.
Yep.
If I know Dustin, he's going to give us a show even for his bye run.
That's right. He's about that practice lap life. He's going to get it in.
Unless he's trying to conserve a little spray.
He might,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
Depends on
We'll
how much
see.
spray he's got in that bottle. Hopefully he's got 2 bottles, the big ones.
The big ones.
Here we go. Dustin Motors definitely giving it the beans off the line. Straight into outer zone 1.
Bumper flapping in the wind as he goes.
Sounds like he is gripped up right now because he's like clutch kicking out of that transition.
Yep. What bad?
Love to hear those clutch kicks. Dustin making good use of his bye run with a nice practice lap.
Beautiful.
Whoops Motorsports in the house. Oh, he takes it all the way to the back corner.
Oh,
Nice.
Dustin.
Getting a little extra out of that.
Well, fortunately, all he has to do is change tires and put a zip tie on that bumper, and he's
Yep.
ready for his next battle.
Yep, as we catch the replay, filled that outer zone nice. Got the inner. Little shallow up in 3, but he stays on the line. With his bumper flapping, he's still in the zone, actually. The bumper flap gave him like an extra 6 inches of right side outer zone.
I don't think Wally's going to give him that
Yeah,
one. I don't
well-
think the judges are going to give him that one either.
And we have Cabot pulling up to the line. And that was a beautiful twin figure 8 by Diego and Gindle. And they just did literally the most perfect 4-piece mirrored warm-up donuts that I've seen all weekend. That was hilarious. Diego in the S13 and Gindle in the S15. It's like Cabot's just pulling through off the track, and it's going to be Diego and Gindle coming up to the line. Yeah, that was hilariously synchronized in the burnout
was
box.
beautiful.
I love that. Love to see it. Because drifting really is just synchronized swimming in a car. And it's okay if you don't agree, but you're wrong.
I was going to say ballet, but synchronized.
Yeah, I mean, ballet's all right. Oh, we got the
do have-
replay of the we got the replay of the synchronized burnout box here.
It doesn't take much to entertain us.
Yeah,
I'm not
we're
going to
easily
lie.
entertained. Grindle took an extra one. He had to break the synchronization. He was like, no, we can't be doing that. Pretty great. Pretty great. Drifting's great. I tell you one thing that's great. Feels like 15 degrees cooler today. I think it's because it's
Yes.
cloudy out here. Now that I say that, I'm probably going to come out from behind those clouds, but it's okay.
Yeah, don't jinx
I still
us.
got the SPF 50 lathered onto my shoulders.
Yeah. Well, we need Diego to knock on wood for us, but hopefully he can pull this win off against
Yep.
Grindle.
He did knock on that picnic table, so let's see if it works out for him. And Grindle coming in hot.
Pressure is on already.
Woo! Diego trying to create some space, but Grindle not letting him get it. They are right there, getting the inner clip. Grindle having to choke up a little bit. Diego is moving fast. Solid run, S13 versus S15. On the replay, you can see Gindle going really aggressive in the first corner, but he drops back just a hair. But right, oh, they touched. That was door to quarter coming out of zone 1, but no one, it didn't bobble or mess anyone up, so they just kept it rolling. Just a little boop. And Diego hot on the gas, filling outer zone 3 perfectly as Gindle shallows up to stay in the game. Both drivers transitioning in outer zone 4. Solid proximity. Good run. Yeah, they definitely bonked just a little bit, but that was very light contact. Both drivers not phased. Both drivers back at the line. Josh holding it down on the start line all weekend. He gave me some SPF 50 sunscreen. It was like lathering latex paint onto my shoulders, and it's honestly kept me from dying out here.
All right, well, Gindle is going to take us in the lead. Diego in the chase.
Whoa,
Gindle
contact
is
on the start.
Aggressive out of the gate. I love it.
Yep, Diego trying to get oh, Gindle drops a tire. These guys are going for it. It's getting tight here at the end of the brackets. No one wants to give up any space. Diego takes a cone for a ride out of outer zone 2.
Gindle making quite a bit more power than Diego, but you would not be able to tell it based on how close Diego was sticking to him.
Yeah, right. Okay, we got the replay here. Looks like Diego got a little too close. He smacks Grindel's back left taillight right out of the trunk. Ejecto taillight cuz, and Gindle not phased, throws it in, fills outer zone 1 perfectly. Oh, goes a little wide, dirt drops, but stays off the cone. Gets into the touch and go. Looks like Diego fell a little short, but gets back up in there right outside of outer zone 2. Mows down the inner clip cone, takes it for a ride. Gindle staying on his line for outer zone 3. Diego just making it happen to try and keep up. Both drivers finishing strong right there. Could this be it for the Deleanos?
Well, we'll let the judges deliberate, and while they do, we'll send it over to Sarah.
Thank you so much, guys. We've got JP Windham here. Just came off the track, just got out of the car. Aside from being hot, you've been having a pretty darn good weekend. Started off with a great hill pull, and you've just been winning your way through this bracket. How's it been from your perspective?
It's been really hot. That's what I'm going to say. But car's doing great. We're here on a seat time 300 tread wear tire. We're doing like 3 battles on the same set. We've been going up against guys with 200 tread wear tires, just holding it down. Like I'm going to say again, Valinos is where it's at.
Okay.
TDC Performance, OTG, L&L Automotive. It's a good combination.
He's on today. I can tell the confidence in your voice. Are you prepped for your next battle?
Oh, yeah. I've never been beat by an FD driver.
Tough words.
In a grassroots event. Obviously,
right.
I'm not an FD driver.
I like these vibes a lot. I'm going to let the vibes stay high. Thank you so much for your time. Get back in the car. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Oh, JP, it's good to hear you on the mic, man. He kept saying he wasn't going to do interviews. But I'm so glad to hear him on the mic. Good to see him out on the track as well. He and his wife, fellow drifter. She's one of my fellow lady drifters. We do crew drift events in New Orleans. So she's his spotter for this weekend. Got the whole family out here with him. So
heck yeah.
Nice to see you,
It's a
JP.
family affair out here.
Indeed.
It is a family game.
My gosh, my
Takes
favorite.
a village to raise a race car, as we all, as the old saying goes. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. We're getting close to the, to the winner's edge here, and looking forward to see who's going to win that Grip Royal steering wheel out there today. They are one of the people providing prizes for the drivers. Shout out to Grip Royal. I've got one in my car. I've actually got a couple. Shout out to the Grip Royal crew for throwing down for this event.
Well, got confirmation that Gindle did get the win here. Diego, unfortunately, will be going home. Great battles, though. I love to see the little bit of aggression from both drivers. Diego getting a taillight taken out on Gindle. But
yeah, that was an aggressive start to the run.
But hey, that's what we want to see.
But hey, yeah, I mean, if you're not getting in there like swimwear, you're probably not going to win. So
looks like we've got Josiah warming up.
Yep.
And just
And-
a reminder,
oh,
there's a link to the bracket pinned in the live chat for you, as well as a link to the Race Data Labs data so that you can follow along. Unfortunately, we were not able to get you the side-by-side comparisons in replay for this round. Round 3, we should have that set up for you again so that you can see the side-by-side comparisons of Wally and the actual replay. So super cool to see the data that the drivers from speed, angle, and line.
All right, here we go. That one more time is firing up. Josiah jumps the line on Hull, and then Hull lurches back in and takes off on him. That might have cost him, but he jumps back in there, not going to let him get away. Taylor Hull absolutely putting the distance on Josiah coming out of zone 1 through the touch and go, but he's back in there. That car is flying. Woo! Josiah trying to reel him in for zone 4, but Taylor Hull absolutely moving as fast as possible out there in the Montevetto. Here he goes into outer zone 1. You can see Josiah kind of gets in there.
Oh, there is contact.
Light
Nice.
contact, and then Taylor Hull just taking off through the touch and go. Josiah still filling the zone and staying on the correct line. Both drivers getting the inside clip, but unfortunately for Josiah, not unfortunately at all, but Josiah struggling to keep up while Taylor Hull is just on an absolute blazing run out there. That's
Just waiting on confirmation for the drivers to go here. We'll get them lit up. With Josiah in the lead, here we go.
Taylor Hull creeping at the line. Both drivers tossing it in.
Oh. We got ducks heading towards the
Whoa!
track.
Taylor Hull seemed like he shot a little as he rocketed up towards Josiah's door. Yeah, that Corvette on Corvette action here. Solid rip. We got ducks on the pond.
Not phased at the least.
Not at all. Coming to the replay here. Josiah filling that outer zone really nicely. Hull gets in there, but then has a quick bobble, but stays right back in it as they go through the touch and go in outer zone 2. Josiah, back left tire off, kind of comes shallow, but catches the inside clip. Resets for outer zone 3. Manages to ride the line. Both drivers finishing strong, completely into zone 4.
All right, well, while we're waiting on the judges to deliberate this OMT battle against Josiah and Taylor Hull, we'll send it over to Sarah in the pits.
Thank you so much, guys. So we weren't able to get Andrew Gindle out of his car. He's got to go right back up for a battle right now. But I wanted to give you an update because I did talk to him. He's been battling his way, a little bit of car trouble yesterday, but he says the car is feeling really, really good today. Worst thing he said that happened today was that his cool shirt stopped working, so you could see the crew behind me fanning the driver, trying to get him back out there, be cool as possible, but his head's in a good spot. He says he's ready to battle. He's ready to throw down with the winner of the one we're about to see. So back to you guys in the booth.
All right, let's go. Keeping this show rolling, getting right back out there.
Well, as we mentioned, so for these rounds that we have, there's pretty serious cash on the line, but also custom Grip Royal steering wheels. These things are beautiful.
This thing is super cool. We're going to go ahead and give you guys a sneak peek at what the winner's going to get here. Check that out.
Isn't that
I'm jealous.
beautiful?
I'm definitely not going to go swap this out with the one on my car because it definitely doesn't match my banner and my headlights. I don't think they'll notice.
No, no.
But yeah, shout out to Grip Royal for providing these rad steering wheels, both to community and to Klutch Kickers series. We thank you guys. If you don't already know about Grip Royal, go check them out. Pretty sure it's just www.griproyal.com. And get you a nice new steering wheel for your drift car, for your street car, for whatever you got. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
anything with wheels that's got a steering wheel, they'll probably work with you if you call them up. They also do custom wheels as well as just their wide variety of things that they sell on a regular basis. You can go on the website, check it out, or build your own.
Yeah. I feel like that's going to be wall art, though.
I
don't think I would put that in
true.
the car. That's
Honestly,
wall art.
this is something you put on a wall, and you're just like, yeah, I got first as that one. But if you do put it in your car, that's pretty tight, too. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, shout out to you, Scott. We appreciate all of your partnership. Grip Royal team.
Thank
Much
you, Grip
appreciado.
Royal.
So, yeah, $6K on the line for first place, $3K to second. Third and fourth will get $1,500 each. Fifth through eighth get $500 each, and ninth through 16th get $250 each. So pretty much everybody's walking away with some kind of cash here today. So
Paid out $250, even $250. It's crazy that the payout goes all the way to 16th place. First few positions always getting that big check and the steering wheel, you know, but that, I get tied up here. Yeah, everyone's getting paid out here that's running in the up to 16 drivers. That's pretty rad. So just a little something to help you with gas or tire or whatever, but
yeah. So if you're not signing up, come on, man. We're giving away money here.
get out here. We want to see you driving. Don't make me build a car.
Oh, God. And the dates you can come out to. Round 3 coming up here soon. Man, it's hard to believe we're already into July. But September 26th through 28th will be our round 3. Round 4, October 24th through 26th. And then our final, the grand finale, round 5, November 21st through 23rd. Well, didn't take the judges too terribly long to deliberate. And it sounds like they do have a winner. Taylor Hull is going to get the win. So Josiah, fantastic competitor. Great battles between both of these drivers, but Taylor Hull will be moving on. Beautiful shot of Josiah and his FDF Corvette. All the way from Canada land. Here to drive with us in Alabama. Confirmed he is the driver who drove the furthest to be here with us this weekend.
Yeah, shout out to Josiah for coming out. From what I understand, he just knew this was happening and was close by at another event and decided to head on over last minute. I'm not sure. We'll have to confirm with him, and this is just a speculation. But the fact that he showed up, showed out, and took it pretty far into day 2 is really rad. Shout out to him and the FDF Angle Kits, rad, out here just putting on a show, proving that their products work, and the car is flying. It was really cool to see him work his way through the rankings just out of the blue here. So thank you for coming out to Klutch Kickers all the way from Canada.
Oh, Canada. I don't think I should be singing the Canadian national anthem on America's birthday weekend. Is there
Yeah.
some
We might
sort
have to
of-
fight somebody out on it.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the first was Canada Day, but it is the 5th, so please, our fellow Americans, don't burn us. at the stake.
All right,
We're
who we got in the
already burnt.
burnout box? Well, Taylor Hull, unfortunately, looks like he's getting a tow out with the MidPond Tow Pig, Crown Vic.
Yep. Shout out to P71 Panther Interceptors, donated by our own personal Curtis of K1 Built. He's out here working his tail off. That car has been putting in crazy work. We actually got stuck in the woods in that car a few times. It's a good off-road machine. One time we hit a jump so hard we tripped the sensor in the trunk and it wouldn't start.
And here it is. That's been 6 years now? And
Yeah,
still
I'm pretty
running
sure
strong?
it's been 5 or 6 years. That thing's been holding it down. I don't know how that freaking Ford AOD is hanging on there, but it is as it pulls off the Chevrolet Corvette disguised as a Monte Carlo. Taylor Hull, number 3. Looks like Josiah just missed that mechanical failure advance.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Taylor can get the car back running again quickly.
Yep. And
time
Dustin
for his-
Motors, oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Dustin Motors warming his tires up, and looks like Cabot's at the line. Battle of the 350Zs. Both cars extremely gripped up. Cabot got him on a little bit of power, so we'll see if Dustin, well, first we'll see if Cabot can work it out in the chase. Drivers will flip, and we'll see if Dustin can keep up with Cabot. Cabot's definitely one of the fastest cars out here this weekend. The car is really cruising, so.
So I believe this is our last battle before we start really narrowing it down. Next battle we should see. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Taylor Hull and JP Windham. So again, hopefully Taylor Hull can get his car back up and running.
Yep.
Then we'll see Kashad Parson in his purple S30. Well, it's not purple anymore. I guess it is purple now.
It's
already-
kinda
it went,
purple,
it
but
went
it's
from
like a
green. It's
different-
like a purplish blue.
Yeah, it's a little different. Kashad's freshly painted S13.
Yeah. He was green for round one, and now he's got like a purplish blue thing going on. But he'll be going up against Andrew Gindle, who's also got sort of a bluish black
Yeah.
purple thing going on, little
Yeah,
carbon
definitely got a
fiber
bit
on
of
that
a
front
blurple
end.
with some carbon. And here we go. The lights are on at the starting grid. Dustin Motors in the lead, and Cabot Cardoso in the chase position. Dustin getting out there hot on the gas. That bumper's still flapping. Whoa, little checkup, and Cabot comes flying in towards Dustin, putting that proximity on him. Whoa, Cabot just ran straight into Dustin's driver's side door. Dustin, unfazed, continues the run. That was a pretty hard hit. I don't know what happened. He came in charging hard and just got a big piece of that driver's side door. Might have gripped up there and just rocketed forwards. Here we go with the replay. Dustin throwing it in. A little bit shallow, but then towards the end of outer zone one, gets back out into the zone. Cabot staying close but playing it safe. As they go to the touch and go, Dustin hits a little correction and Cabot surges but not phased. They go into outer zone 2. Cabot right there on top of him. Dustin misses the inner clip, but as Cabot charges into 3, boom, knocks Dustin. Dustin goes to angle but manages to hang on to it as Cabot straightens out. Dustin just kind of rolling with the punch there. Reinitiates, holds it down for zone 4 as both drivers finish out the run strong. That is the hard part. You know, Cabot's car is definitely moving a little hotter around the track, but every once in a while, that can be a tough thing to mitigate as you rocket forward and, you know, it is what it is. You got a little bump. Dustin didn't seem to take it too much to heart and kept it going, so we'll see how they go in this next one. Cabot's going to lead and Dustin is going to follow.
Looks like both of them are staging a little further back this time.
It looks like they were, yeah.
Judges are just quickly reviewing the Wally data before we send them for their second run. All right, lights are on, drivers are off. Got Cabot in the lead, Dustin in the chase. Cabot out far in the lead. Initiates pretty soon. A little shallow there in the first outer zone.
And just taking Dustin 2 Gapplebees. 110% on the gas, trying to make up for that issue on that one. And he is just letting everybody know, sorry, Dustin, but he's taking off right now. Whoo!
Dustin's still doing what he can to catch up, though.
Cabot just decided that if he had to make up for lost time, he was going to make up with it at 100 miles an hour out there because he was screaming.
smoke show to show for it as well.
We'll see how it affected, how that door bonk affected him. But he was a little bit shallow in zone 1, but so was Dustin. So headed into the touch and go, he got it as he just really laid on the hammer. Looks like he's still managed to get a corner of that inner clip and set up for zone 3 and really filled outer zone 3 nice as Dustin trying to stay in it. Be interesting to see how the judges score that one, as he did just really gave it the business, but that contact from the first lap is definitely going to hurt his score, so we'll see how the judges feel about that.
Indeed. It is one of those things that do happen, though.
It does happen.
Oh, Taylor Hull's car is running again. That's good to
Hey.
see. Getting him set up back in
Yep.
his Kinda Motorsports, or Kinda Motorsports, excuse me. Oh, and it just died. I just jinxed him.
Oh.
Well, giving him push back into his Kinda Motorsports tent in the pits. Hopefully he'll be able to back out. Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Sounds like you're ready for us.
Thank you, guys. I just wanted to give you a little update since we were talking about Taylor Hull. We're not going to bother him with the camera right now because, as you can see, he's busy. But I did get a quick second to talk to him about what happened. He said there was an electrical issue, possibly a battery. He didn't seem too concerned about it. And his crew, as you can see, they're already thrashing on the car. They've already had the hood off. And his wife was running to help him out as well, his spotter. So they don't seem concerned. He did win. He's still in the winner's bracket. So we'll go ahead and watch him as the crew gets that car back together and we get back into the action. Back to you guys.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, glad to hear that. Hopefully they can get it sorted out quickly.
We got dancing
got
on
a
the
little
camera.
dancing going on.
Show us your moves, man. Show us your Oh, he bailed out.
Oh, Silas bailed
Too
out.
self-aware.
Oh. Not even a teenager yet, and already self-aware.
They grow up so fast.
All right. Well, still waiting on our judges to give us a deliberation on the Cabot Cardoso and Dustin Motors.
Yep. We got a little aerial view of the judging tower out there as they decide what's going on with this battle.
Those of you who are watching this live stream from different events, hey, shout out to you. We appreciate you joining us today. We know there's a lot going on this weekend with family events, other drift events, other motorsports events. It's nice to see you hanging out with us. Oh, the concentration on Will's face as they review the Wally Race Data Labs data. Again, you can follow along. I don't know if the data from the battle between Cabot and Dustin is up yet on the server, but you can certainly check out that link that we have shared with you in the live stream chat. You can follow along, watching all of the data from Race Data Labs, see these replays.
Get a good breakdown on all the differences in the speed, the angle, and all the things that the judges are seeing when they're using the Wally system to aid in their decisions. Got the pit cam. Oh, there's our boy Curtis. Say hi, Curtis. Say hi to the camera. There you are. And looks like we're going to jump back out there to Sarah. There she is.
Hey, guys. I tried to get Curtis in the shot, but he said he didn't want to. But I did get to talk to Josiah, who's right behind me. He's not getting out of the car because he's got to battle the winner here that the judges are deliberating over. I asked him what went down on his last battle with Taylor Hull. They did go one more time. He said he was thrashing, and then they made a tire change that did not go the way he wanted, his words. But his dad back there is putting another fresh set on, so hopefully they've got whatever that change was dialed, and he's ready to face the winner of this battle. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll throw it back up to you guys.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thanks for the update. Yep, tough break. You know, one of the most important things about competing or just in general drifting, whether you're doing party events or competing, is a consistent tire. Sometimes you make a quick change and it just doesn't work out.
Oh, and it's knowing when to make those changes, you know.
For sure.
Fortunately, you know, this weekend our drivers have had a lot of time to get data and feedback from their cars. But when do you make that decision? You know,
Yep.
is it something like where you need to make spring changes, especially for a track like
Yep.
this?
Shock
where-
dampening,
Yeah,
springs,
absolutely.
tires, it all play such a big role. And sometimes you throw a pair of tires on and you're like, That just cost me 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes in something like this. That little difference just can make a big change on the track. So, but you got to make those changes and you got to try. So that's what
All part of being in a competitive environment, but no stranger to competition. Cabot Cardoso gets the win
All
for
right.
this battle. So sounds like he'll be going up against Josiah,
Yep. Sounds
which is
like
actually one of his sponsors.
Oh, that's yeah. He's FDF driver. Awesome. Yep.
So-
I'm assuming that that first run, the contact probably played a little bit of a factor against Cabot, but he had a really good follow run outside of that contact, and I know that Dustin had a little bit of a tough time getting through that first outer zone into the touch and go. So maybe he straightened a little bit. I'm not sure exactly, but from what I saw, it was still going to be hard to call, but the judges have called it. Cabot Cardoso moves on and is going to be battling Josiah in the FDF Corvette. So
Yeah.
that'll be a good one.
Well, Whoops Motorsports has definitely brought the heat here with both Camel and Dustin this weekend.
Always.
Fantastic team. Love to see them out here. Great energy, positive people to be around. Dustin is an incredible competitor.
Dustin was just throwing some dirty looks at the judges' tower.
We may see a protest then. Who knows?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
if you got that money in that
So-
piece of paper.
So for those of you who do not know, drivers are welcome to protest a driver decision, or excuse me, a judge's decision, which means they can pay a small fee, and submit a protest form to basically protest a
Yeah.
very specific call.
Challenge a call,
Challenge a call,
Sometimes
yes,
you want to
indeed.
challenge and be like, I don't agree.
Yep.
So you put it in, and sometimes you get it overturned, and sometimes it remains. But the only way to know is to fill out that form and have your representative deliver it to the judges.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens. We'll see if he's that interested in contesting it or not, and maybe he will, maybe he won't. But so far, at this moment, Cabot will be moving forward into the battle with Josiah, and I believe that's going to be the third place battle, right? The
I
battle
believe
for
so.
third place?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me refresh my bracket here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we don't have a mic on the judges this weekend. We were looking to hopefully get a little bit of feedback from them on the reason for their decision making. But sorry, had a little bit of break in conversation there. The judges did just let me know that they are going to give a short break here after this battle to allow everyone to change tires again. We're getting into that where we're back to back to back for some of these drivers.
And
That is
speaking
the
of
downside. Go
Yep.
ahead.
Nope, sorry. Speaking of that, here we go. Gindle right on top of Kashad's door all the way through outer zone 1. Kashad finding a little speed into the touch and go, but he goes 4-3. Oh my God, he's hopping all over the course. He made it back on the track, but Kashad with a major overshoot going into zone 2. He goes 3 tires off and hop, skips, and jumps his way back onto the course. Andrew Grindle shutting it down. That's going to cost Kashad there. It looks like he was carrying every ounce of speed that he possibly could out of outer zone 1 through the touch and go. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too much, and he tracked out into the dirt. Here we go with a little replay. Grindle, Kashad on the perfect outer zone 1. He's on the wide line, goes through the touch and go, and then just goes a little too wide right there. And here he goes, boom, two or at least two
tires, yeah.
maybe that front left. And then he gets back, but Grindle decides to shut it down. I'm sure he was kind of, saw both tires go off there and just decided to chill out a little bit. But tough break for Kashad in the lead there. We'll see how he handles the chase. He was definitely trying to lay it down there, full tilt boogie. So, Whoops Motorsports, full representation today, this weekend. And in a quick moment of downtime, let's check the chat and just answer a couple quick questions. Someone asked if the pits are closed to spectators. Actually, it's open, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you don't want, spectators badgering the drivers, so I don't think they're really just letting everyone, but I think you can wander around, check out the cars. There's a porch here where you can view the racing, and, that's going to be part of the expansion of the track is like some more spectator viewing areas and all that, but Yeah, it's still MidPond still is MidPond, and there's just a lot of people that like to come by and check it out. So feel free. It's a good thing to come check in person. And anyway, that time is gone, and we got Gindle up front and Kashad in the chase. Andrew Gindle
Back
laying
hatch
it on.
flapping.
He is, he's flying. Kashad trying to hang in there. S15 and S13.
Smoke show coming from Camel. Don't know if those are his Westlakes again. Let's hope I could get him a sponsor for that.
I don't know what he's
Westlake.
running this time, yeah. Camel. Answer another question here. How late is the comp running today? I don't have an exact time, but we're getting very close to the top battles here. We're working our way through this last section. That was one of the last few battles before the top 3.
Yeah, so just confirming. So just confirming that Camel is on those Zek Novas. We've been giving him grief about his Westlakes.
Yeah,
that
we've
he
been giving
ran
him a
this
hard
last
time about
round.
those tires. He finally stepped it up, got him some Zek Novas, and he's got some real grip, which is why he had to replace that clutch, because those tires are not giving up any grip.
Well, got a replay going here so you can see. I did get confirmation from the judges that Gindle did get this win. So unfortunately, Camel did take an L for this one. Beautiful chase run here from Camel. But I believe it was his lead run. Oop, yeah.
But yeah, the lead, he
The
definitely
lead
went
run,
off.
unfortunately, I think is what almost said the D word.
Yeah, he
doomed him, but almost doomed him.
Yeah, he got zeroed on that first run for going several tires off into the dirt, and that's just too bad. It happens sometimes when you're really pushing these cars to the edge. Sometimes you go off the track, so he probably definitely got a 0 on that first one. He tried to hang in there for the chase, but Gindle held it down and made just a clean pass, and so Gindle is going to move on. Camel putting on a good show. He changed out a clutch last night. He's super gripped up on those Zek Novas, but just wasn't quite there. That he went, that's how it goes. He got pretty far into the standings today. He's definitely a contender at all of these rounds. Every single, the first and the second round so far, he's made sure that it's known. He's here to party and he's here to drive. So made it pretty far. He's out. Gindle moves on. And we are going to take a short break on the driving, just trying to get the drivers to change some tires, as we mentioned. Just as we mentioned that there's so much back-to-back battles happening. But we are going to go to Sarah in the pit. She's there with Dustin Motors. Let's see what they have to say.
Thank you so much, guys. I've got Dustin here. A little bit of a heartbreaker situation. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'm a little confused. It's a judge sport, so it's difficult, but I'm being told that I lost that because of an inactive chase. The man's got double, triple my horsepower coming through. I'm on tires, been sitting forever. I did what I could, got into him on 2 corners. He got me on the straights, but I came in. He slammed into me, and I easily could have spun that car. I fought it to not and continued the run. He had a straighten. I had 2 complete runs. He had 1, so I'm not quite sure how that even happens.
Yeah, it's heated a little bit down here, but it's because of the passion that you have for the sport, and I can feel that radiating off of you, dude. But let's not ignore the fact that you were shredding out there and that dumb Z that I really don't like.
Well, right now we're out of nitrous, so we're at 270 horsepower. We're coming through. I ran out of nitrous in my run against JP. That's why I had a straighten, and I lost my one more time with him. But, I'm battling pro cars in a stockish Z with some angle and tires and sometimes some spray, but we're out here being competitive and trying to keep drifting fun, but man, I want to win.
I know, I can feel it, dude. He's battling pro cars and he's giving them a run for their money. So the tensions can get high here. It is drift competition, but thank you so much to Dustin for giving us a moment of his time and really showing us why he cares so much about drifting. And we'll go ahead and toss it back up to you guys.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Dustin. Always a fan. As a fellow VQ owner, I know we get beat up a lot, but hey, you know what? You came up, you came here, you showed out.
Yeah, he did. He brought it here, brought the heat. I'm sure that it would have been a lot different of a story if he hadn't ran out of nitrous, which I was kind of wondering because all weekend he's been keeping up with a lot of everyone he's been running against. And obviously in that last run, no matter how the cards fell, that Cabot definitely put the gap on him, but I think it's part of the problem is that he was down 100 horsepower. And when you're in a car like that, gripped up as it is, it just makes a huge difference to have that edge. And so sad to see him go, but we are going to continue forward. Shout out to Whoops Motorsports, Dustin and Kanshad out here putting on a great show for everybody. We love you guys.
Well, we do still have a little bit of a break here, but I already see Josiah and Cabot out on the track getting staged in the burnout box.
This is going to be a good one.
Indeed.
These are two fast cars.
Josiah has been a longtime sponsor of Cabot with that Mega Mantis kit that Cabot's been running on his Zs for several years,
Yep.
Both his seat time Z and his comp Z.
Yeah.
So while this is a very serious competition, I think there's a little friendly elbow jabbing happening between these two drivers. Certainly some good camaraderie.
Yep.
We see Josiah getting ready to go into the burnout box. We may get a little tandem burnout action, and we are. So if I had to make some assumptions, I'm going to say that Papa Cardoso has Cabot's tires aired down quite a bit in order to keep up with Josiah, very similar to what his strategy was with Taylor Hull battle in round 1.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Looks like Josiah's pulling up to the lead position for the first run. Cabot gonna be in the chase. All right. Lights are off. Josiah throws it in. Cabot right there with him. Both drivers flying into outer zone 2. Josiah made a tire change, you can tell. Whoa, Cabot comes in hot, too hot. Cabot comes charging in hard at the end of outer zone 3. Unfortunately, overcooks it as they decel into 4 for the transition, and on the brakes spins the 350Z. Tough break there for Cabot. Let's see how he reacts and gets into the lead position.
Oh, man. That is what competition can do to you, man. We will always see consistency out of Cabot. But in a competition environment, anything is possible, especially when you're up against a competitor like Josiah.
Yep, he was really making a charge for it, and then right there, he just came in a little too hot. Yeah, solid run from these two drivers.
Right up until that mound, man. Well, bringing him back around, Cabot Cardoso, known for a fantastic lead run. We'll see how he does with Josiah in the chase. Just waiting on the official word from the judges so we can send him.
Looks like Josh is inspecting something on Josiah's Corvette.
We're hearing reports that there was water coming out of the vehicle. Don't know if he was referring to his own car or Josiah's car. Also unconfirmed if it is actually water. Of course, we always have to be cautious and make sure it's not fuel or oil. So that is probably what Josh is looking into right now. Drivers are staying in their cars, so it seems to be okay. Lots of radio chatter right now, so we're just waiting to get final confirmation that everything is good with Josiah's car. Yep,
Looks
we are
like they're
good. Drivers are good. Lights are on. Here we go.
Josiah creeping up on the left. Cabot taking off in the lead. See if he can bring that high-speed energy he had for his last battle. Cabot giving it everything he's got in that 350Z, but Josiah sticking with him through the outer touching, or through the touch and go into outer zone 2. Woo!
Oh,
Great run right there from those two
beautiful
drivers.
run, both drivers.
Little
Unfortunately
replay.
for Cabot, I don't know if that lead run's going to do him any favors.
Yeah, it'll happen, but we'll see. He was in the outer zone really nicely. Clearly on the throttle. Nice clean transition, really close. Skimmed the touch and go, but gets into outer zone 2. Makes it back inside for the inner clip. Clean run on outer zone 3. And both drivers solidly filling out zone 4, ending the run. All right, I think we're going to go to Sarah in the pits.
Thank you so much, guys. I've got Andrew Gindle here again. He's out of the car, so we thought we'd bother him for a second. Where's your head out? How's it going? Is the cool shirt working again?
No, cool shirt was completely warm. We just put ice in there. We didn't have time after our last battle to do anything. So now we're checking all the plugs, making sure the car is nice and cool, making sure I'm nice and cool, and it's kind of working.
Yeah, you've been powering your way through the competition, and doing it without a cool shirt's kind of wild. So where's your head out for the next battle?
Honestly, I'm just glad to get like 5-10 minutes to relax because we've just been back-to-back 3 battles in a row. I know it's going to be a big one and probably Josiah, so I battled him once, got the experience with it, and now I know what I need to do to try and beat him.
Awesome, and it's do or die out here, so we're going to let you get back to your crew, work on that car, do the last-minute changes, and then we'll get back into it. I'm going to throw it back up to you guys in the booth.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Andrew. Hate that cold suit's not working for you, but yeah, just shove some ice down there and pray for the best, I guess.
Yeah, at least again, it's not so bad as it was yesterday. I think we just had cloud cover all day. It's dropped the temperature by like 15 degrees, which is, I don't know, maybe I'm just used to it after yesterday, but it seems like it got better. So, but still hot in those racing suits and those racing cars. Those things are just straight pumping heat into the cabin of the vehicle at all times. So, shout out to Andrew Grindle for coming out, putting on a show, being a major competitor here this weekend.
Also, shout out to Dustin for the flash photography,
I missed it.
if you will. Yeah, you know those Whoops Motorsports boys. They like to take their shirts off, so want to make sure the world can see. Florida boys, always.
Florida boys. Just real quick, want to touch on something because some people were asking about clutch kickers and about the rules and what you need to know about running an event like this if you want to drive it. And the main thing I can say is just go to clutchkickers.com. That's www.clutchkickers.com. And you'll see that they have a website based on this series, Clutch Kickers at MidPond. If you scroll down, there's a schedule, a rule book, payouts, text sheet, judging criteria, point system, and sporting rules. So the main thing is if you want to build a car for clutch kickers, you need to read the rule book and the text sheet about 10 times each. And when you're done with that, go back over them again. And if you have any questions, or even if you don't, you can also email them. I don't have the email right in front of me.
Yeah, if there are tech-related questions, you can reach out to us at tech@clutchkickers.com. If you just have general inquiries, you can reach out to us at info@clutchkickers.com. Media inquiries as well. If you're interested in shooting media, you do have to apply each round because we like to keep our media fresh. So yeah, where you can apply, go to, there's a media application on the website, and you can also email us directly at media@clutchkickers.com.
Yep. So.
Hey Josh, we see you down there, patiently waiting for the judges to deliberate on this battle between Dustin and Josiah, Cabot and Josiah. Saw the green Z and brain went immediately to the interesting turn of events. Cabot Cardoso gets the win.
All right. Cabot moving forward, and looks like he's here to go all the way to the top once again. Or wait, is that the third place battle? Or no, because then I think JP's going to battle.
Yeah, we can still have the JP Taylor Hole battle.
And then they will the winner of that will battle Cabot, I believe.
That is correct.
Okay. Yep, Cabot, young man on the grid, holding it down in that 350Z. I wonder, I'm not sure, so I'm going to speculate at a risk of being wrong here, but if Cabot was correct about something coming out of that Corvette, that might have caused the spin that he had in the chase. And if that was determined to be true by the judges, then the lead driver would be at fault for that. So I'm not sure. That's 100% speculation. But if something happened there, then obviously that would go against the Corvette.
So we're going to see if we can we'll see what we can do to get the judges mic'd up and get a little bit more information from them. We know there's going to be, if we're confused, we know you're confused. So obviously we love and appreciate Cabot. We know he's a great driver, but interesting call from the judges here, so we definitely want to hear more. So Sarah's going to be working to see if she can get a mic on the judges for us. In the meantime, we've got Taylor Hole pulling up to the line in the lead.
Yell at me. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Not sure where. Oh, there's JP coming out of the burnout box.
Yeah, I heard that.
Hey
Going
guys,
up
I
against
have
JP Windham.
sorry to interrupt. I have Will up here to give us a little bit of an explanation on that previous battle. Hang on one second.
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, so the previous battle with Josiah and Cabot Cardoso, when they came through, when Josiah was leading and they were coming into outer zone 3, we set the decel zone to start during the transition into outer zone 4. Josiah lost 10 miles an hour before the zone ended, and Cabot was maintaining speed, and that's why we had the issue. So the rulebook says that if you're decelling in a non-decel zone and it causes the follow car to zero their run, that is the fault of the lead car. So that's why we ruled for Cabot.
Thank you so much. I'm going to throw it back up to the judges' tower. I'm sorry, to the booth. I appreciate the judges giving us a quick second and a little bit of insight, because the intricacies of the rules are not always super clear. So we like it when we can get up here, bug them really quick, and get a little more explanation. So thank you to Will for that.
Yeah, thank you guys for the clarification on that run right there. Obviously, my speculation was completely wrong, but I was just throwing that out there to fill some time there. Yeah, sounds like too much decel in outer zone 4 or outer zone 3 from Josiah, which caused Cabot to have to check up and get out of that zone. Sorry, I'm like handing things off and trying to speak at the same time, and my brain's not working. Yeah, so thank you, Will, for the explanation on that. And also, just as a reminder, Josiah is actually not completely out of the show yet, because this is double elimination, and he has only lost once. So after this next battle, we're going to have a loser from that. They're going to have to battle, and then so Josiah's kind of still hanging in there, as they both will be continuing forward. And we are going to move the booth that we're in right now, so hang tight with us.
Got a little bit of rain starting here for us, as you can see on the pond, but the real reason for the delay here is it looks like Taylor Hole has broken down again on the track, unfortunately. So we've got the tow pig coming out to grab him.
All right, sounds like Taylor Hole's having alternator issues and charging issues. Okay, and we are having a little bit of light inclement weather, so we're shuffling our booth around. So it went from scorching hot. That's why it's been so nice the past few hours, because we had a little bit of rain in the clouds above us. So hopefully it stays light and we can keep rolling. Yeah, I'm not sure. I just got told one thing and then another, so Josiah might be out because that might have been his second loss because he lost to Taylor earlier.
That is
and
correct.
Ken, the owner of MidPond, feeding me the disinformation here. I'm giving him a hard time for that one. Yeah, so.
Hasn't lost.
Okay, so yeah, we just had a little clarification on that.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, Josiah is out of the race today, but he had a great showing out here this weekend. We really appreciate him coming by. And what a way to go out! What better way to go out than losing against the youngest kid here that you happen to sponsor his car. So, shout out to Josiah, shout out to FDF. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out. Okay, we're getting the camera gear out just in case this sprinkling turns into anything more than that. And we've got Taylor Hull hooked up to the MidPond Crown Victoria Interceptor getting towed off course. I don't know if this is gonna, I don't know if this is a break or if he's taking a timeout, but hopefully he can get it fixed up for his next battle against JP Windham.
Yeah. Well, the drama continues. So we're getting word that JP Windham is also going to be taking his 5-minute timeout because it sounds like he has a broken axle. So he is going to be trying to get that changed out quickly while Taylor Hull is being towed off the track.
Yep, so JP got the timeout. Taylor Hull being towed off the track. We'll see if these guys can slam something back together for this battle. So bear with us. We got a little bit of broken car, a little bit of rain on the front, and we're going to be a little bit slow here for the next few minutes. So hang tight with us, chat. We appreciate you guys rocking with us on this Sunday during the holiday weekend. Jump in the chat. You know, what someone asked in the chat, anyone who knows the NSX was on the hill. I don't know, but I enjoyed looking at that car yesterday. It was on Workmeister S1s, and it was fitted beautifully. It was a black Acura NSX. That thing was so sweet. I love those cars. I've never driven one, but they're just cool.
They are fun to drive.
It's just Honda doing cool stuff in the 90s.
Oh, man. Old school Honda days.
Gotta love it. Yeah.
That's how most of us started. That's how I started.
Yeah, you started in a Honda EG hatch, right?
Yeah,
and
still
I
have
started
it.
off in CRXs. I never kept any of mine, but my origins was a CRX in the North Georgia woods, and you were in Honda EG hatch that you still have, which is so awesome. I
Since
actually
2005,
recently,
man.
dude, 05. That's and 04, 05.
I just aged myself for everybody.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're ancient, but hey, sounds like we got Sarah in the pits ready for an interview, so let's flash to her real quick.
Thank you guys so much. I'm not going to pull JP because he's actually about to get underneath the car to change that axle. Looks like a passenger side axle. It's going to be a tall ask to do in 5 minutes for sure, but I think the team's going to give it a go. Or perhaps they want to go out tools in hand, which is another thing we see a lot in drifting competition. I brought the umbrella out to try to see if we can chase away the rain. Typically that's the rule. As soon as the umbrella comes out, the sun does, and it kind of is here. But I think the guys, they might want to be changing it. As I look at him and look for competition, no. So they might not be changing this. He might be out of competition here this afternoon. I wonder if he will give me a quick yes or no, but it's looking like a no. Unfortunately, guys, I think JP might be out here.
That's unfortunate.
Well,
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and...
we see some head shakes and high fives. Head shakes and high fives. Not looking good.
They gave it all they had here, and they definitely were. I saw the mat out. I saw the tools out. They were going to try, but that would have been a tall order to do in 5 minutes. But we're going to go ahead and throw it back up to the booth, back to you guys, and see if we can't jump back in competition. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sarah. I hate to hear that about JP. Of course, he's standing there with Mike Amerson with TDC Performance. Partners in crime. Of course, Mike is Hannah's father, and of course she had her loss yesterday, unfortunately, so she did not get to move forward. So it's unfortunate to see some of these families who've come all this way and unable to move along. But hey, it's part of it. But we'll see him again for round 3.
That's just part of racing. If you can't deal with that, then I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes things just do not go wrong. But we got the pit camera out here checking out the crew. It sounds like Taylor Hull is also taking his 5 minutes because he is trying to fix this car as the rain is rolling in right now for a minute. Hopefully it's just blowing over. It doesn't look too serious, but we're definitely getting rained on out here now. You can see it on the pit cam, a little bit of scrambling. Curtis there talking to Tamara and Taylor and their pit crew right there as they're gonna try and wrench it out and get this going. And it looks like we're going to be live on the camera, or at least on the microphone if Sarah wants to jump
Hey
in
guys,
there.
I'm going to try to give you guys a bit of an update and just stay out of the way here. Get the camera and also me a little bit dry, or as dry as we can be. It looks like the guys are going to try to change an alternator, so if you want to pan over there to them. And we're just going to try to stay a little bit out of the way if we can. So they're pulling a truck up here, and I believe they're going to try to jump it. If we can pan over to the left there, they've got the pit vehicle, his Silverado. They're popping the hood on that, and they're going to try to jump it to the actual drift car here to see if they can get that done. They're having their 5 minutes right now, and what a bad time to have a 5-minute call when the rain is absolutely pouring down, as you guys can see. We're going to try to give you guys a little view of that just to see if they're able to do it. I don't see why not. But Taylor does have to go battle as soon as those 5 minutes are up.
Yeah, what a rough time to take a 5-minute timeout right as the rain just rolls in to the pits here at Klutch Kickers in MidPond, Columbiana, Alabama. You never know what kind of weather you're going to get out here. It's July weekend, so it's the summertime, which means summer showers. They just took the hood off that Monte Carlo. It looked like a piece of paper coming off that thing. They are saving so much weight on that car. It is insane. I can't believe how light it must be for a Corvette, as it literally just looked like a little wet piece of paper coming off there. But they're under the hood. We got the pit cam showing off what's going on there.
Ernest Hughes in there, no stranger to competition pressure, working on a vehicle right there with Taylor Hull, helping him get that alternator changed out.
Yep. Taylor's team going for it. We got to get this thing fixed and back on the line, or otherwise the lineup's going to be shaking up. Off camera in the background, looks like the Cardosos are fueling up for their next round. JP lurking around the pits, so I don't know if he's just able to move the car, but he's done, or if, no, yeah, because they wouldn't have time to fix it.
No,
he must just be limping the car back around to park it.
Yeah, JP's just done.
All right, we got that pit cam live there. They are scrambling to get that alternator changed, and we've got Curtis standing by with Nick Novak as his umbrella girl. What a cute pair that is right there. But Curtis has got his phone out. He's got the timer going. These guys are trying to make it happen. The sun's out and it's raining. We're about to be steamed crab legs.
Oh, why'd you have to say that? Crab legs sound amazing
Oh God, crab
right
legs
now.
do sound really good right now. I could go for some crab.
Yeah,
yep, we got Ken in the background.
Our fearless
That's right.
leader.
Oh, he tried to dip out. They let him know. Oh, he's just getting under out of the rain.
Taking
shout
cover.
Shout out to Ken of MidPond, Alabama. We love you, man. Thank you for everything. Keeping this place going all these years and trying to step it up, advance and expand the track, and bring back Klutch Kickers. All of this is possible by that man right there hanging out in the corner in his party shirt. So he's watching the action. He's in the pits. He's part of this process from top to bottom all the time, every event. So shout out to Ken. All right, they're getting after it. I don't know how much time is on the clock. Curtis, how many times on the clock? Give me a couple fingers up. Ooh, they got about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, so they're about halfway through. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that while they're working on the car, but we're good. Cool. Ken stepping out in the rain. He's managing the rock situation.
Oh, Ken's getting involved now. Ernie is in it to win it, getting that alternator.
Brandon running out of there. Lights Out Loud Productions giving us the action right up front.
I'm standing here next to the camera while the guys are working on the car. They're absolutely thrashing. They have about 2 minutes left here. Just moving the camera back out of the way so that we're not in the way of the car rolling.
This right here is where races are won and lost. 5 minutes seems like enough time to do a fix, but it is absolutely crucial.
He's
to be
actually
cooking the whole time. Sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
Looks like he's back together. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. You're good.
Taylor looks like he's hopping back in the car, so we're going to just back up a little bit out of the way. We'll get him peeling away there.
Give
All
a little
right.
test fire here.
It's coming down
So
to the
if
wire.
It's absolutely down to the wire, and if they are able to get this back together, I'm going to be absolutely impressed. I don't doubt the team whatsoever, but this is a tough job to get done in 5 minutes, and it, to me, based on the pry bar, that the alternator was fighting them a little bit. But Taylor Hull is suiting up back in the car. It looks like he's pretty confident that they're going to get back out there.
And just for anyone wondering, you see Taylor Hull fully suited up. He's got his helmet on, his harnesses on. He has to be completely back in that car, ready to go with it running at the 5 minutes. You don't get to run and turn the last bolt and call it good. You got to be back in the car and ready to rip out there. So let's see. It's coming down to the last minute here. They've got the jumper cables on the car and the new alternator installed, and that's it. It fires back up. The Montevetto lives to fight another round here at Clutch Kickers round 2.
Fantastic work by
He
Taylor's
is
team.
pulling out of the pit. What a good job, guys. They are
That
not
is the
playing
excitement.
around. Yeah.
We love to see the battles, but man, sometimes it's great to see the teams behind the scenes get into the battle action as well.
A lot of times these races are won in the pits with a good team getting after it. And the man holding the counter there knows that all too well as he crew chiefs for his own friend Andy Haitley in FD. So solid. Thank you, Sarah, for the sideline update. Shout out Lights Out Loud Productions for getting us a camera on the spot, keeping everybody mic'd up and shuffled around. Good times. A little bit of action to spice it up here, getting towards the end of the brackets at Clutch Kickers round 2. Also, it did rain that entire time. Now, it's basically blown over, but it's still sprinkling, and the track is wet. So we got JP Windham on a 300 treadwear tire. Taylor Hull, I don't know what he's running, but I can only assume it's the Gridbius compound that they make, and because that thing is flying. But now the track condition is wet for the first time all weekend, and we are at that close to the end of Sunday, and for the first time we have completely different track conditions. So it's going to be interesting how these drivers adapt, and we may see changes, and we may see somebody fly off in the first turn. You don't know how this track's going to react. You get to do like a few donuts to test it out, and then it's a completely different surface. So
well, and JP's risking it for the biscuit. Not going to be able to
going out
change
there.
that axle, so it looks like he's going to try to keep it out there.
Yeah.
And just run it.
Bold move. Let's see how it goes. I guess, he's got maybe the rain will help that situation because the car's not going to be fully gripped up. So we'll see how these guys go as they pull up into the, I guess they're going straight to the line. JP can't really risk the donut box with his axle situation, and Taylor Hull just deciding he doesn't really need it.
Still some light rain on the track. No standing water on the track, fortunately, but still some slick conditions. So no time to make any major adjustments for tire pressures, which I don't even know if they were paying attention to that. Cabot, Cardoso, Andrew Gindle making their way out on the track. Give us a little flair on their way out.
Yeah, they just hit a quick one corner rip. They just hit a one corner, and it looked slick with this fresh rain. So here we go. We're getting ready here. Taylor Hull is going to be in the lead. JP Windham in the chase in that ready 46 BMW. They're getting the signal, and the lights are on. And when the lights shut off, it's time to go. Here we go. JP is just spinning off the line. He's barely moving. It's possible that axle broke or something. I'm not even sure. Taylor Hull doing the slow roll, but he's going. JP struggling out there. He might. I think he broke that axle.
I think he did too. But you know what? I give him props for getting out there and wanting to at least see his run through.
Yep. Taylor Hull doing the slow run around the pond. It is so slick out there. You can just see that all the speed just dropped about 30 miles an hour out there. Oh, no. Taylor Hull's car backfires going into outer zone 4 and shuts off. Oh, no. So both cars do not complete the run. Double zeros. Oh, he almost made it. No.
Oh, but he crossed the finish line.
He did cross the finish line, but and JP did too. So both cars zero out in a crazy turn of events going into these top brackets. This is absolutely diabolical. Between the weather and the car failures, we're seeing some very interesting turn of events out here.
Oh, you never know what you're going to get at MidPond. Rain, sunshine, heat, broken cars, broken axles, dead cars, crossing the finish line. Who knows? We'll see what the judges have to say because we're all scratching our heads and how this is going to play out. But again, kudos to both of these drivers for hauling some serious ass to get their cars put together in time. I know JP wasn't able to change out that axle, but he still got out there, got his car on the track, did a lap. I mean, he at least got his car out there. Taylor, unfortunately, wasn't able to get much grip, but still completed his run. Even though his car shut down right before the finish, he was able to limp it along the finish line.
Yeah, what a crazy turn of events out here. It's getting hectic. We're here for it. Oh, man, I see people coming with food from the taco truck.
It's lunchtime.
That's right. We appreciate everyone out here supporting the food truck.
We appreciate y'all listening in.
Yeah, shout out to everyone who's here on the live stream, rocking and rolling with us on this 4th of July weekend. Happy Independence Day. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all the members in the chat being active, throwing a comment, throwing a like, throwing a wave at us. And the MidPond Panther Interceptor has towed Taylor Hull to the back straight. JP Windham is back up to the line. He has very little left to give, but just the fact that he's there may just jump him up in the bracket a spot or two. So just fill some time to give you guys a play-by-play. I see Curtis. He's on the radio with Taylor Hull's crew. They are conversing to see what's going on. I don't know. Someone was just asking me if they're allowed to do another jump start into the to be honest, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that the 5-minute timeout is timed out. However, I cannot confirm. So they're chatting about what's going on over the radio. The Crown Victoria tow rope is tight, and they are moving again with the number 3 car out there. Oh, they're trying to bump start the Monte Carlo. It's like something's hanging up. Oh, no, that's just the wheel.
Oh.
I don't hear it starting up, though.
I don't either. I saw a little bump there where it looked like he tried to hit the clutch.
He's trying to. They're acting like an FCRX7 with low compression out there. You got to drag start that thing for 2 miles. I would know.
I want to see if I can hop in and provide some explanation here because I was able to just talk to the judges.
All right.
What had happened was, or what's going to happen here is they both zeroed on their first run as we saw. If JP can leave the line and Taylor Hull can't, JP will advance.
Wow.
If Taylor Hull can get off the line and battle, he has the potential to advance. But keep in mind, Taylor Hull hasn't lost yet. So if he does lose, he'll go down into the loser's bracket. He has another opportunity. So we kind of have to see how this battle plays out, and then they'll rule on it from there.
Thank you for that clarification, Sarah, because that's an important thing that I was kind of missing there. Really appreciate that because, yeah, and one thing here is that even if Taylor Hull loses this battle due to mechanical failure, he will have a moment to work on the car in between his next battle because he hasn't lost all weekend. So he's not totally out. Unfortunately, it looks like for him, and fortunately for JP, JP's going to get this win if he can complete the whole run because he's off the line, and Taylor Hull is dead in the water in the backside of the track. So JP is going to hopefully get through the line and move along, and maybe after this he'll have a chance to get the axle changed. But Taylor Hull is going to have to rely on a little bit of time between now and his battle to try and get that car sorted out and running again because he just took his first loss for the weekend.
JP still giving it some gas, not giving it a lot of ass though. It's not going anywhere, but
yeah, JP looking like he just swapped a stock 325 motor with an open diff into that car. But you know what? He is getting through the course no matter what the conditions. And so in this crazy little turn of events, he is going to advance into the next round. And Taylor Hull will take his first loss of the weekend, which means he is down but not completely out. What? I already did. Yeah, no, I did like a whole.
all right. Well, JP's making his way around, as is Taylor Hull being pulled by the MidPond Tow Pig. We've got Cabot Cardoso and Andrew Grindle in the backstretch getting their burnouts in, trying to warm up those tires. Track's still a little wet from our small little rain shower that we had. Now it's beautiful sunshine. Cloud is kind of clearing up a little bit, so hey, this should be a great battle.
Well, we got a little downtime out here, so let's chat it up about some other things outside of the track. Coming up here soon, we want to give a shout out to our friends at E-Town Gambler Series. E-Town, New Jersey, going down. They've got 2 rounds left in the E-Town Gambler. So that the E-Town Gambler Series is a 235 tire class competition series out of New Jersey. It's kind of a run what you brung style class, 235 tire maximum limit. The next round is going to be at the E-Town Road Course on August 2nd. I personally just got out there not that long ago. Really cool road course. I hope to drive it sometime. Way crazier in person than what I ever could have thought in all the videos you see. Anyway, E-Town Gambler, round 3 is going to be at the road course on August 2nd. And then the final round at round 4 is going to be at the stadium. And so if you want to try out running the track, the same track as FD, then that's on October 11th. So shout out E-Town Gambler. And let's get back to the action because I think we have a little run here from Andrew Grindle.
Well, the confusion continues. Andrew Grindle took off from the line solo. Not sure what's going on with Cabot Cardoso.
And Andrew Grindle, first person to go 4 off in Outer Zone 2 due to the rain. And he is beached out there on Outer Zone 2 in that S15.
Interceptor's getting a workout today. It looks like Grindle may be able to get it out himself.
Maybe. Let's see if he can do the rock and roll like he's stuck in some sand in an off-road truck.
Josh, hair flowing in the wind, on his way to the rescue. Camel shirtless, the whole Whoops Motorsports team on their way. On the way to, they're getting to shoot off the track here. They were trying to help him out.
All right, for our viewers, we got a little bit of a replay going on here. He dipped 2 tires off. He came back on the track and tried to stay in it for the whole run, and then whoop, and he's 4 tires off. That's just a quick showcasing of how slick it is out there after this little bit of rain. So it looks like the Whoops Motorsports team got completely shoot off the course, but Andrew Grindle able to drive back onto the track. So he's back on there. Looks like the body kit stayed on and everything. Well, he didn't have a rear bumper, but the front bumper and the side skirt stayed on. So I'm not sure what happened there and why Cabot didn't leave the line and why Andrew did, but we will get some clarification on that. But yeah, anyway, I kind of cut that short, but shout out to our homies at the E-Town Gambler. 235 tire rule, E-Town Road Course, August 2nd. Running the stadium, same course as the big dogs in the pro show on October 11th. So if you want to get a crack at that, get in there.
235 tire rule. That's
yeah,
interesting.
235 tire rule. I'll be honest, that's like very appealing to someone like me who's basically driven on 235s and 245s their entire life.
Yeah.
But yep, I don't have a competition car right now, but it spins the wheels. Here we go with Cabot.
So I think I'm catching up here now. Just there was a little bit of a shuffle with our bracket here. So I believe Grindle's run was a bye, and this would be a bye for Cabot.
Okay. And it looks like the track's drying out a little bit. Of course, I said that, and Cabot goes
Cabot
flying
goes off
of
track.
it in the same spot as Grindle. So apparently, the outer zone 1 to the touch and go, pretty grippy. Going into outer zone 2, definitely slick. So
Very
drivers,
patchy out there right now.
Yeah, drivers are going to have to make big adjustments if they don't want to go off there together. Okay,
oh,
so
we're allowing them sight laps. Okay, thank you for the clarification, judges. We appreciate that. Because of the rainy conditions, they are allowing them to have some sight laps, so thank you for that. We were a little confused.
Understandable on the sight lap. As you see, both drivers went off the course. They're basically showing everybody what's wrong with the course right now and where it's messed up and getting a feel for it because the conditions have changed so drastically. What we don't want is to send them out. What we don't want is to send them out there blind and have them both go off course and crash into each other because we don't want that. We want, yeah, because that's what would have happened just now if they didn't allow the sight lap. So now that they've had the sight lap, both drivers are lining back up and getting ready to go. On the replay, you see right there, he is just whee off into the dirt. So that'll happen on those big jobs.
All right, lights are on. Grindle in the lead, Cabot in the chase. Let's see if they can both avoid that same issue again.
Grindle flying into turn 1. They've got some grip right there. They've got a lot of grip here into the touch and go. Let's see how they figured out. Cabot's kind of slowing down a little bit to make sure he gets in there. Grindle goes flying off the course.
Grindle off course.
Oh, 4 tires off. Cabot hangs on to it. Looks like he backed out right in time as Grindle overshoots outer zone 2. Oh no, Cabot in outer zone 4 manages to hang on to it. The track is sketchy right now, but you could actually visibly see right there coming out of zone 1, there's actually a lot of grip. The tires are making smoke coming out of zone 1 going into the touch and go. And we got the replay right here on the stationary cam as Cabot barely hangs on to it. He might have even dipped a tire off there. He threw a lot of angle right there as Grindle goes 4 tires off in outer zone 2. As those drivers left outer zone 1 fully gripped going into the touch and go, it looked to me like visibly like Cabot planned his slowdown almost perfectly, because he still had to rotate and almost dipped a tire off, but he visibly slowed down anticipating that slick spot, which is something I've driven this track in the rain, and there's just some places where you dial back the gas and the angle, and then the car basically flops to lock when it hits those spots, but you stay on the track. And so, unfortunately, Grindle did not catch the adjustment, went 4 tires off. That's going to cost him as he goes into the chase position. Said it looks good. Oh. All right, we got a little second of downtime here, but we think we're about to get this battle going. So we're going to hold tight.
Judges do review in between each run just to go ahead and make sure they've got their notes and clarifications before we send the drivers for their next run. Does help make the judging process towards the end a little bit faster, but looks like we're good to go. Both drivers are ready. Lights are on. Cabot in the lead, Grindle in the chase. Let's see if Cabot can keep it on the track, and Grindle as well.
Oh, Cabot dips the tire on the entry, but hangs on to it.
little shallow there, but
Here we go from the grip to the slick. Let's see if the drivers can hang on to it. Cabot trying to use the e-brake to slow the car down. Gindle going a little wide, but staying on the track. Both drivers working through the slick. Wow, those are really patchy
Nice.
conditions, but a good run by both drivers out there. All right, and the judges made a quick one on that. Cabot Cardoso gets the win. I can only assume that that is due to the 4 tires off during Gindle's lead run, since that was a 0. So solid run by the boys, getting out there right after the rain completely changed the track conditions. Got the replay there for you guys to be watching. Solid show. Let's see how it goes as we keep moving.
all right. We'll pass it over to Sarah here in the pit. Sounds like she's got somebody to chat with.
Thank you, Tara. So I'm not going to bother them, but the team for Taylor Hull is behind me. They actually stepped over to the fence just to watch that battle because he is going to go against Cabot in just a moment. So he did lose his last battle just because he couldn't continue to drift because of the issues they were having, but the crew seems to have gotten it back together. The car is now running, as you can probably hear, and they're going to go out. So another benefit of that double elimination, he got that extra time to be able to get the car back together, and now he's got to go back out there and do or die. So let's go. Back to you guys.
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, it's hard to miss hearing that car fire up. Of course, then they did just shut it down again. So hopefully they can get everything back out on the track. We're just waiting for a little bit more clearance to get these drivers back out.
All right, we got a little bit of a live view in the pits here as Gindle pulls up. Taylor Hull's pit crew putting that wet napkin of a hood back on the car. Got to save that weight. These cars they got to be light and they got to be fast. You can see Andrew Gindle's car go by. Just got a bash bar there. Missing a taillight from some earlier battles.
Cabot's probably not even going to need to change tires since they're unfortunately wasn't able to get a lot of grip out there with all the rain and patchy conditions on the track. So we'll see. Looks like Papa Cardoso is jacking up the rear of the car. He's going to play it safe and go ahead and change out those rears while he's got some time before his battle against Taylor Hull. So we will see another Taylor Hull Cabot Cardoso battle, it seems.
How about Sarah with those panning skills? Got a nice view out there. We're going to switch over to some ducks on the pond. Big chillin'. They're just hanging out there for the entire competition. They're big fans.
All right, so what we're hearing is the next battle between Cabot and Taylor Hull. That will be the determinant for the 3rd place.
Yep. So I think it said the loser will be 3rd place?
The loser will be
yeah,
3rd
okay,
place,
and the winner
correct.
will continue into the 1st place battle. All right. I didn't realize it, but our drone pilot has his own helicopter pad. I just saw it coming up on the video. All right, we're back in the pits here. No, we're not. We're watching the pond. I don't know what's going on, but I know everything that's going on and nothing at the same time.
Par for the course here this weekend. Can't tell, but it looks like JP Windham was able to get that axle changed out. His team has been working hard. It's hard to tell through Josiah's tent, but I do see what looks to be JP's car on all 4 wheels, so they don't have parts. They're going to run it as is. All right. Well, a risky take by JP, but hey, we understand. It's competition. You got to do what you got to do.
Shout out to all the people on the live stream rocking with us here at Klutch Kickers 100K Drift Series. It is July 5th, and our next round is going to be September 26th through the 28th for round 3, followed by 1 month later, October 24th through 26th for round 4. Then we're going to finish it out with a winter round of November 21st through 23rd. For more info, www.clutchkickers.com. And even though it's cooled off about 30 degrees from the rain, which I'm somewhat thankful for, even though the drivers probably aren't that stoked, it was really hot yesterday. Kind of like Hot Pit Auto Fest happening in San Bernardino, California next weekend. If you're going to be hiding from the heat again like you were this weekend, tune in at Hot Pit Auto Fest on YouTube.com. Check it out, www.hotpitautofest.com. They're down there in Southern California, running a really cool series. They've got motorcycles, drones, and drifting battles and ride-alongs. Now let's switch it back to Sarah in the pits.
Thank you so much, Lawless. Glad to hear about Hot Pit. Really want to check one of those out if I can ever get out to the West Coast, so it's on my list. It should be on yours too. I want to give a little bit of insight. We did get to talk to JP. He's still in the car. They have not replaced the axle. They have no parts. They're unable to replace it, but he's going to go out there and try and see what he can do. I assume to grab those points because we are a point series, and just kind of give it all she's got, Captain. That was what I was told. All right, so we'll go ahead and throw it back up to you guys in the booth, and hopefully we can get underway here. I see the last few drivers, the last 3 drivers right behind me in the cars getting suited up and ready to go out there for competition.
Yeah, that's
Thank
a good
you.
point, Sarah. About the points, we know there's a lot of debate in the chat right now about whether or not JP should continue with a broken axle. It's a good question.
Well,
no,
you
go
know,
ahead.
oh, sorry, go ahead. Well, I was going to say the reality of it is exactly what she said, because I wasn't really thinking about it. The chat's torn. They were wondering, well, you know, it's broken, this and that, but if the car is still able to move and you can get out there, this is a points battle.
It is.
And every point counts. So, you know, you might not like it as a competitor or as a viewer, but if you're in the competition, you are got to claw for every point you can get.
This is very true, and you know, knowing JP personally, I know he would never intentionally put anyone in danger, himself included. But you know, it certainly is a risk when you go out on the track with any kind of broken parts. It is what it is, but I think we'll see what happens.
We're definitely going to here shortly. Taylor Hull's in his car and suited up. Pretty sure JP Windham's in his car as well. So the car still moves, but that's going to cause some controversy, but we'll see. If there's no drama in drifting, then you're not even drifting, honestly.
No, this is very true.
Let's see. Let's engage with the chat, because they seem to be very opinionated about this. Are you guys actually drivers, or are you just big talk? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you have a lot to say. But no, it doesn't seem to be the same as a DB tire to me. But yeah, I get it. It does seem a little funny. If I was in the chase and I had to follow a driver like that, I mean, if they were driving straight and they weren't doing much, I would probably throw a drift in and then shut it down and claim that they weren't good. But you still have to do something. We're not saying you got to charge in and run into the guy, but you do have to at least throw it in for a corner, show that you tried, and be like, hey, that guy didn't complete his run and I couldn't follow him. And if the truth of the matter is, as a chase driver, it may seem unsafe, but the reality is if you're a chase driver and you know that axle's broken or about to break, all you have to do is safely stay behind him. And if you can't do that, then what are you even doing? Because really all you got to do is throw it in one corner, and if that guy's straightening out and he clearly can't do the course, then your point is won. It's not you can't chase him. So you're going to win, and you're going to move on, and you're going to lead, lay him in the dust, and you move on. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, and again, there is nothing technically in the rule book that says that he cannot compete.
Right.
So it's an interesting conundrum here. if I was in JP's situation, you're not going to have to question what I would do in this situation.
Yeah.
Knowing that this is a competition, knowing that this is about points, knowing that I have put money, invested money to be here, put time and money into the car, into my program, into the entry fee.
There's a
to be here.
huge investment.
I'm gonna at least put the car out on the track and see what happens.
Get that point.
With a But hey, we can debate this all day. Chat's gonna debate it all day, I'm sure. But we'll pass it over to Sarah, see what she has to say.
Thank you, guys. Just giving, of course, Taylor loves to start it literally right when I start talking, but hopefully he'll take off quickly.
That's loud. No, you're good, Sarah. You're good.
That's okay. So that was really loud. Sorry for everyone listening at home. It's great timing he's got with the starting the car when I've just started talking. But the guys are going out to battle right now. I wanted to update you with a few things. They are going to let them do a sight lap. We just talked to race control, so because these guys didn't get one, and the holdup is we were just letting Cardoso change his tires, fuel the car up, because he did just battle, so we want to make sure to give them their allotted time to get the car back in competition. Looks like they've done that, and they will get sight laps, so we should prepare to watch these guys just test the track and see how the conditions have changed, given that it's actually drying up now. So I wanted to update you guys with that, and I'll toss it back to you in the booth.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Well, we've got Cabot Cardoso already out on the track waiting. Taylor Hull making his way out there slowly.
And the loser of this battle is going to be the third place finisher for the weekend. Yeah, sorry about the quick spike in volume there, folks, but we're working on it. Every second is being dialed in through the whole weekend. And I hear it's fixed now.
All right, send him into the burnout box.
Here they go.
Taylor's going to bypass. Cabot's going to get a little bit of warm-up in.
Let's get a battle going to take a break from a little bit of the gossip, drama, scandal. A lot of people in the chat. It's good. We like to see it, you know. People are opinionated, and we want to see your opinions. There is a lot, you know, it doesn't really matter if you're right or wrong. And I don't know what's right or wrong in the situation either. But the fact is, in this particular day, in this series, it is being allowed to happen. So that's kind of the end of that. We'll see what happens with the battle. Here's Taylor Hull on his sight lap, being conservative, just checking the track out. He watched Cabot and Gindle do their runs, so he does have an idea of where it's kind of messy, and he's just doing a quick couple hits. Also, having just had a mechanical failure himself, I'm sure he's trying to take it easy and make sure nothing happens.
Well, Taylor has finished up his sight lap. We'll send Cabot out here. Sounds like we're getting some updates from the pits. What did you just hear from Sarah?
We're going to hold on to that information for a moment. We've got some spicy updates.
Some spicy details.
Let
all
these
right,
cats
all right.
deal with. Let everybody think they know what's going on.
The drama continues. Yeah. All right, well, Cabot Cardoso doing his sight lap. Taking it easy. One corner at a time. Well, the track does seem to be drying off quickly, but it is drying off still a little patchy, so we'll see what happens. But both drivers did their sight laps, seemed to be okay. Cabot making his way back around so that he can be in the chase position against Taylor Hull. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Taylor Hole in the lead. Cabot, Cardoso in the chase. Whoa. Taylor Hole taking an odd line through there, but he's flying in outer zone 2. Can he hang on to it? Yes. Track's looking a little bit drier. Cabot, Cardoso right on top of him. Let's go. We're back. Sorry, I'm yelling. And we are right back to the action here with a great battle between Taylor Hole and Cabot Cardoso.
Deja vu, round 1 all over
Yes,
again.
round 1 seriously all over again.
Beautiful proximity from both drivers in that first run.
Yep, solid little replay right there. We have had the drones out there and the stationary cams all day for the replay. Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit funny in the first corner there. A little bit of wiggly woggly driving there in the first corner from the number 3 car, but he's putting it down and flying on that wet track. Cabot not letting him get away with anything as Cabot takes the lead. Hole in the chase. He's right there next to him on the entry.
Handbrake initiation from Cabot.
All right. There's some grip back in that track because these guys are flying again.
Cabot looks back in his element.
Yeah, he does. He's moving. Taylor Hole's trying to get back in there, but he had to shallow up a little bit. Oh, man, what a great battle. We are seeing a repeat of round 1 where these two guys are just going super hard. We got the replay on the screen. Cabot entering. Both drivers a little bit, well, no, there's not too shallow. He's pretty much riding the line. Dipped out of it a little bit, but stayed in the outer zone pretty good. Catches that touch and go perfectly and into outer zone 2, riding the zone perfectly. Gets the inner clip, jumps out to 1. Taylor Hole shallows up a little bit, but he's still got his bumper on the line. This is going to be a tough call. What a great battle. Both drivers filling outer zone 4 perfectly while Taylor Hole holds that proximity within a foot or 2 of the back wheel.
Yeah, almost contact there towards the end.
Yeah.
Beautiful run. While the judges deliberate, gonna see if we can get, yes, perfect. We're gonna get this replay of Taylor's lead run.
Yeah, he was outside. That's a really strange angle he took there, but he kind of hung on to it. He might have overcooked it a little bit in that first corner. But he reset back up and got into the outer zones pretty nicely there. Cabot charging in as they hit that inner clip. Cabot mimicking the line pretty nicely through 3 and 4 and just really running up on his door for the outer zone 4 before he takes off at the end there.
I don't know. I think we may see another OMT, but like you said, you did call out that during that initial initiation around the outer zone 1.
Kind of went really wide and kind of short shotted it. There were some chat members kind of talking about that when he was running against Josiah, so we'll see. Check out this aerial view once again. Beautiful MidPond here in Columbiana, Alabama. What a great view of the track. Shout out to Corey on the drone. Oh, that's awesome. Boy, this axle debate is going to be the scandal of round 2.
Yeah, we all need a little scandal in our
It's
lives.
good, you know,
sometimes.
just a
Keeps
little bit,
things
just a little
interesting.
touch of drama, but it's nothing crazy.
A little spicy.
Yeah, you know, just to spice up the weekend before it, you know, comes to a close. It wasn't hot enough today, so we had to heat it up in the chat.
Indeed. Shout out to our drone pilot.
Yeah, drone.
Drone driver.
He driving that drone.
Driving
though.
that drone. Yeehaw. Corey Gamble doing a fantastic job this weekend, giving us some great aerial footage.
Yes, sir. Josh holding it down at the start line. The start line authority.
Judges really spending their time deliberating this one.
Yeah, this is one of those times. It's tough to be a judge, even with the Wall-E system. Those race data labs giving all the info really helps out, but it's just an aid to the judges' visual cues. They still have to make their own decisions. They still have to go over the data, and they have to think between what they see on the data and what they see with their eyes and make a decision. And when the battles are close like this, it is so hard to make a decision. I see Drew Smith talking about coming out to the next round. Calling your bluff, buddy.
Yeah.
You better show up.
Uh-huh. I'll believe it when I see it. He's just going to hang out with a Mustang bash. That's it. Yeah.
I don't know how many viewers we got out there on the live stream today, because all I can really see is the active members, which is about 240 people. But shout out to everybody for hanging out with us, whether you're just watching, whether you're throwing a little banter in the chat. At the end of the day, it's all love. None of this for us is too serious. The serious part is out on the track. And I'll tell you what's serious is this next one more time battle that's about to go down between Cardoso and Taylor Hull. Too close to call it, so they're going to run it back. I believe that because of the one more time, the drivers are able to pull off the track and change their tires a little bit.
Correct.
So
that is correct.
you're going to have a few minutes of downtime here where they are doing that. I'm about to have to find someone to get me some tacos.
Anybody out there, get us some tacos.
We got the pit cam. Taylor Hull pulling into the pits. He's parked next to a very competitive-looking Lexus GS300.
Shameless plug.
I wonder whose that is. It's really low for a competition car.
Some Hot Boy wheels for a competition car.
Yeah, a lot of weight on those wheels. Probably a pretty slow car, honestly. Shout out to the Skid Pad Warriors. We got love for you too. Got Curtis. We got Curtis on the pit cam. The whole crew is changing tires. A Wild Ken appears on the screen.
Pretty sure that's the same shirt he wore to our wedding. Hey, easy, Destin, easy. We know about your man crush on Curtis, but let's keep it PG for the kids here.
We got a shout out. Someone wanted to say, welcome back, Clutch Kickers, and we appreciate it. We're glad to be back. What up, Brandon? We see you on that camera. Shout out Lights Out Loud Media for putting this whole production for you guys. And Sarah, back on camera here. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Hi guys, I went to grab a water and then they're like, we're filming in the pits. So I ran back up here to let you guys know. Obviously, they did announce they're going one more time. So we have Taylor Hull here changing tires. Cabot Cardoso changing tires under the tents over there. Now that the sun's coming out, it's probably a little bit dark, but this is reminiscent identically of the first round. These are two rippers. Last time Taylor Hull won out, there was a one more time battle last time as well. So we're going to see if these guys can throw down, see if it's any different. I understand why the judges were deliberating because that was way too close to call for me personally. But luckily, I'm not a judge. So
That's right.
we'll probably hang around and just see if we can get you a couple of shots of them changing tires and see what's up because we do need to see what happens with this battle. And this is determining our top three here today.
Thank you for the update, Sarah.
Thank you.
Please get some water. Taylor Hull's car is back on the ground, and they are fueling up. The Monte Veto preparing to battle. G-Bodies forever. What you know about the Malibu Boo, the Monte Carlo, Pontiac Grand Prix, Southern Dreams.
This chat is giving me life.
It's it's getting late in the day, and with these little breaks, we're starting to get too sucked into the chat here, but we do enjoy the banter. We enjoy checking in. A lot of times throughout the day, we're so busy and trying to keep up with what's going on the track and all around us that we're not really able to communicate with the chat, and it's kind of just left to its own device. But in little downtimes like these, we do still tune in and check on what you guys are saying and get a good laugh at what's going on in there. So.
Do you know what? I think there's one thing we can all agree on, and that is we got to bring the treehouse back.
Yeah,
I miss
for real.
the treehouse.
I miss the treehouse. The treehouse is one of my favorite things. But back to Sarah in the pits with Kashad, and oh my God, he has a shirt on. What? He
got him.
He must
with
be
a shirt.
this man?
He's officially out for the day.
We're stoked, but it is a camel style shirt.
Yeah, it's because I took an L.
So he had to put the shirt back on. You drove amazingly though, even though you did get knocked out.
Yeah, we've been chasing grip the whole event. Clutch went out. JP was the first run I had on low pressure and the clutch actually working. I ended up missing a gear, and then Gindle, I was flying. I overcooked it, missed the whole zone. My lead's been great, just gripped up and sent it a little too hard, mate.
And the chat want to know if those were the Westlakes on there that you were running today.
Nah, we on Zex, baby, 300s.
Well, they seemed like they were working for you. And we did have a little friendly bet here because he was talking a lot of smack yesterday. And I did bet him if he won, only if you won, that I would do a shoey. And it looks as if I'm safe from the shoey.
Oh.
What about crowd favorite again?
No, but I'm going to need you to come back strong next time, and I'll think about maybe a round 3 shoey. Drop it down in the chat if you think we should bet again on that. I know they're going to do it.
Throw some clap emojis in the chat. If we
And
need
I
it.
am a man of my word, so I will do it if so. But yeah, I have no doubt that you can crush it. Good job. And we'll let you get back to it, get some shade, and I'll throw it back up to you guys in the booth.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I think you're going to see a lot of claps in the chat because everybody loves a good shoey,
Clap in the
especially
chat.
when you're not the one who has to do it.
That's right. It's always better to clap in the chat when you're not the one having to shoey. Me personally, I use my shoes a lot, so not always stoked on a good shoey, but sometimes you just got to do it for the sport. Yeah, Sarah just showed up hers. She's got holes in her van, so I don't know. I don't think I've seen her do any kick flips, but she's doing something in those shoes. So
Do a kick flip, Sarah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, she's gonna kick flip the water bottle. Oh
No!
my God! Oh, she crushed it open. Someone get her another one. She shoeyed the water bottle and dropped her. All right, we're just chilling. We got a live look at the pits. We are just killing time here. So hang with us. Hang with us here, folks. We're getting through this. We have a one more time coming up between Cabot Cardoso and Taylor Hull, which is going to determine the third place position in the competition this weekend.
Yep, Cabot's just putting some fuel in the Z. It sounds like we may be good to go.
Fueling up.
Sun's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Sun's out. I don't know if Gun's out. Kashad put his shirt back on.
Oh, no.
Grindle came out with his shirt off for there for a little bit. We saw that. We saw you, Grindle.
It happens. Sun's out and the guns do come out. I just have my sleeves rolled up because I'm trying to match my super not even arms and shoulders and not just have the worst farmer's tan on the planet. But, you know, I don't think 1 or 2 days is going to really do it. So, alrighty. Welcome back to the booth. We are big chilling up here trying to see what's going on. Oh, Taylor Hull's car's firing up.
That's a good sign.
He's suited up. He's got his helmet on. I'm sure Cabot's right behind him. He's pulling out of the pit spot there.
Ernie, his spotter, on the way out. Hey, Ernie. All right. Cabot on his way out as well.
Yep.
Let's
there
get
he
these
goes.
boys on the track. Get this party started again. Beautiful shot of MidPond, old MidPond, new PidPond.
Yeah. Under construction
Old generation,
pond.
new generation driver.
Yes. Both of us got sunburned.
Yeah, we're both pretty cooked. Little tandem burnout sesh for Taylor and Cabot. Quickie for Taylor Hull.
And yes, my car is actually a JZS 147. It is a JZ chassis. My engine is from a JZX 100 Chaser. So it just happens to be there this weekend because of a low driver count. You will never see my car in the Clutch Kickers pits again, so I hope you enjoy it.
All right, lights are on. Let's go.
Taylor Hull. Cabot in the chase. Taylor in the lead. Sun's out. The track's looking kind of dry. Cabot trying to make up some lost ground here, going into the outer zone too. Solid run there for both drivers. And the replay, oh, okay, we got the replay. Turn 1. Same thing there.
Almost looked like Cabot held back just a little bit. He almost had some contact there.
Yeah, there's a little thing there where instead of going through the whole outer zone, the Monty kind of dives inward and then goes and fills it at the last section there. And Cabot checked up right there, and he lost a lot of ground. He tried to keep it together, and he got back in there at the end, but we'll see how that affects him.
That's a lot of body to throw in that turn, so I can imagine he has to make adjustments where he can in order to get around that first initiation point.
Took a pretty hard gap there after that.
But Cabot, you know, not making quite as much power as Taylor, but still able to keep up just a bit. Struggling just a little bit in the chase, but still filling out those zones nicely.
All right, the lights are on. Cabot, Cardoso in the lead. Taylor Hull in the chase. Both drivers flying into the touch and go and going into outer zone 2. Whoa! Taylor going a little wide in outer zone 3. Almost went a little too wide in outer zone 3. There's bets going on in the chat whether or not Cabot's going to DB'd. Replay.
So
Cabot.
far, so good.
Cabot does outer zone 1. He stays out there pretty good, just barely comes off the line, but he has pretty much filled that whole zone. Taylor transitions early as Cabot hits the touch and go perfectly, and both drivers are pretty in it for outer zone 2. Cabot getting that inside clip, setting up for 3. Fully fills 3 in the Z. Taylor dipping out wide last second there, but holding it together. Coming back in tight for the end of zone 4.
Taylor just glued to him, though.
Yeah, it's going to be tough if Cabot, unfortunately, taking that little bit of a gap in the first run might hurt him on that one.
Unfortunately, yeah. Well, not much deliberation here as expected, unfortunately, but Taylor Hull does get the win, so he will be moving on. Cabot Cardoso, unfortunately.
No unfortunate.
No unfortunate. Just
Cabot
part of
Cardoso
it. Cabot Cardoso
gets knocked out, you know? That's all it is. He gave it his all. He was out there ripping all weekend. He took one loss yesterday and managed to hang in there for the competition today. Got back in there and drove his butt off, and
yes,
here we go. Taylor Hull advances to the top round. Or no, wait, that was for third place,
Yes,
right?
that was for third place.
So Taylor Hull is solidified in third place? Or no, or is it the loser? Oh my God, I've got to learn how to do double elimination. Someone told me earlier how that was going to work.
Well, so it should be Taylor Hull for second, depending on this next battle. So, got some information. We're going to wait to see how things could play out in the pits. Waiting on some information on JP. Of course, if you remember, JP in the red E46 had that axle break. Waiting on some feedback from him, so I believe it would be Cabot Cardoso confirmed for third, but we'll wait to see what the judges say, get some more confirmation. Also waiting on some more details in the pits.
Really, we're just making you guys wait for details. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, we're all just kind of figuring this out. We're going to figure out this controversy, Axlegate 2025.
Axlegate.
Y'all got some really good air conditioners in the chat. The lowest I ever set mine is 69. It's nice.
Nice. All right, we see Sarah's talking to the race director and to our technical director, getting some details from us on what we can expect here next.
Okay, so just to clarify, that was the battle to see who got third. Whoever lost that battle got third place. So Cabot Cardoso finds himself in third place after finishing second place in round 1. So he is doing great in the points and great all weekend out here, absolutely shredding. And Taylor Hull is going to move on into the top battle for first or second place against JP Windham, the starter of Axlegate 2025. But in a
Dot, dot, dot.
dot, dot, dot.
Bah, bah, bah.
Unofficially, there may have been a controversial choice to not run. We don't have 100% certainty yet, but it may be that JP's taking the high road in the competition and allowing something else to happen. So let's see. We're just waiting here for a couple minutes in the pits to see if these drivers pull out together or not.
If I know JP the way I think I know him, I think he's going to take the sportsmanlike approach and bow out of this battle. He's still going to end up with second place either way, so he's still going to get some great points. I agree with not risking it for the biscuit to go out there in a competition environment, especially against somebody like Taylor Hull. So let's see. We do have confirmation that Taylor Hull is heading back out. JP seems to be staying in the pit, so I believe that answers our question. So shout out to JP for doing the sportsmanlike thing and bowing out. But Taylor is still going to head out. We may still get a show from him. Putting one on for the fans for sure, but you know, hey, something could happen. We know Taylor has had an issue with his car, but I still think he has already secured himself.
The lights are on, and Taylor Hull just putting one on for the fans out here as he finishes the lap in order to secure the win. Oh, he dips a tire off on the front, going a little shallow into 2. All right, let's go. Oh, he completes the 360. Oh, he goes the other way. Taylor Hull putting on a little fan show here. He's going regular course from reverse course. All right, and he's going to hang out right there for the ending ceremony. And just so we're clear, JP actually bowed out a little bit ago. He was not in tune with the live chat. We just decided to leave you guys hanging and watch you banter in the chat. So you can be mad at us if you want to, but that's just how it is sometimes.
Gotta have a little. You gave us some drama.
Yeah,
We'll give you some
we
drama.
like to have a little fun too. We can only have so much fun like that. So thank you for providing it for us today. JP with the scandal, the chat on edge, and Taylor Hull gets the win.
Well, we'll give just a few more minutes to get these drivers back out on the track so that we can do our podium. Hand off these steering wheels and those personally signed checks from Ken Martin.
Hey guys, just shouting it out from down here on the track. Now that the track's cold, we meandered out here so we can officially give it a 1, 2, 3. And it looks like we got a 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. doing the math for me so I don't have to. Thank you, guys. Just a few more minutes, we'll get these drivers settled, and we'll make it official here.
Yeah, Ken's on his way grabbing the checks, and of course we got those steering wheels on their way over to the drivers for handout. Love seeing all the families and the support staff out on the track with them. But hey, while we're waiting on these drivers to get their well-earned cash, thank you. Thank you for being here, whether you're here in person, as a driver, as a team member, as a spectator, as a media person, or if you're joining us on the live stream, we appreciate you. This would not be possible without you. If you're interested in driving for Klutch Kickers, there is still time to register for round 3, round 4, and round 5. So round 3, September 26th through 28th. Round 4, October 24th through 26th, and round 5, our grand finale, November 21st through 23rd. So we do hope we get to see you out here in any capacity, whether it's watching us on the live stream, yucking it up with us in the chat. We appreciate the camaraderie. We appreciate the drama. We appreciate the nonsense. We appreciate you. So keep coming back for more, and we'll still be here. Did you run the steering wheels out?
Just
Nice.
did a quick hot and ready run out to there to get the steering wheels out there. Chat was lit today, that's for sure. Shout out to everybody hanging with us in the chat, watching the stream. We got the drone in the air. Got a little aerial shot here, but we are going to bring you guys right to the action here for the final announcements on the track. Everyone watching out there, we hope you come back for round 3. This series is really just getting fired up, working out a lot of the kinks here and trying to make it better for you every single show. So thanks for bearing with us while we grow and start this all over again. Yeah, because it's... Yep.
On the 1, 2, 2. I'm out.
W-I-N-D.
All right, while we're waiting on those checks, we're gonna start here. Since we do have a 4th place car up here, we're gonna get him down and talk to him. Unfortunately, he does not get a big check, but we're gonna bring him front and center here and talk to him here on the competition. I'm curious to hear about those last battles. Andrew Gindle, congratulations on 4th. How are you feeling after this round?
Pretty good, pretty comfy. First time driving in the rain here, and there was just a lot of patchy areas, so.
It looked incredibly gnarly. What was it like driving out here, especially in this corner that's right behind us?
Honestly, it's so fast on this straightaway after outer zone 1. You just want to send it the whole time, and then as soon as you got into the next zone, when it started raining, it was just ice. But when it was dry, it was a good layout.
Was there any damage to the car from going off course?
Just a Not from driving off course. I think I lost a taillight and maybe a fender. We had to drill holes to mount it properly, but that's it.
Gotcha. Little cosmetics, little bumped and bruised, but overall, all right. Again, congratulations on fourth. You don't get a big check, but you get the points. That's what matters, and we'll see you next round. Thank you so much. All right, and as soon as we are ready, as soon as we have those, we'll move on to our third place. I see him out of the peripherals. So we'll get our third place driver here, Cabot. Are you feeling deja vu? I'm going to ask you to come down here just so we can be in the center. Are you feeling deja vu from last round right now?
A little bit. Man, I entered in behind him on my chase, and it was like ice for some reason. But, yeah, it was so much fun. I love driving here, especially like having a good tandem partner to drive with, especially out here battling and everything. It's so much fun.
Yeah, you did put on a great show, and we're never tired of seeing you two do battle, so selfishly, we love to see it. We love to see it one more time. We'll hand you the check here. Congratulations officially on third place. Give it up for him, guys.
Yeah. Awesome fun. Great job. There you are.
All right, we'll let you get some pictures there. We'll move on to our second place driver. Come on down here. We're going to go in front of the cars here for this one. We're going to make everyone who's got the trophies and everything work for it. We have JP Windham. You look like you've been running through it today. What happened with the car?
Broken axle.
Absolutely. Completely broken because we heard it was broken, but then we saw you out there and you tried to take a lap.
Oh, yeah. We're going to try. Never give up.
I like that. I like the never say die. There was a little bit of controversy in the chat on whether or not you should have sent it on that last one, but you did bow out. Just, you're worried about the lead and potentially a collision choking up the chase car.
Yeah, so there's no sense in destroying two cars over something like that.
Absolutely agreed. Thank you so much for your sportsmanship. Yeah, we're glad that you got second, so let's give you that big check, and let's go ahead and give it up for him, guys. JP Windham, second place, and the Grip Royal steering wheel here for you. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and get the big man himself down here. Come on, front and center. They made you work for it today, buddy. How are you feeling deja vu from the first round?
No, this was way different than the first round. Not that the first round was easy, but they plus the car really made us work for it this time.
And the weather, so it was completely different between before you ended up in the finals to after, and then it was different conditions again. What was that like trying to drive through that?
Oh, this place is incredibly slick in the rain. We went out and tried to do the lead lap in the world's least exciting battle against JP, where he broke and I ran out of voltage. So really can't believe that we kind of got a second shot at redemption, and the battles were incredible. So, of course, battling with Cabot, unfortunately not a great battle with JP on either side. And then, I knew more than likely whoever won between Josiah and I was, had a really good shot at going on and winning the event. And we can't let no Canadians win on 4th of July. We had to smoke some Kenda tires for America.
All right, I think we can all get behind that, especially for this weekend. Do you have a softer spot now for double elimination since it essentially gave you like another life? You had the little mushroom there on your Mario run where you got to try again.
So I've never been, when we were all talking about the inception of this kind of format, I was a fan of double elimination, and I still am to a point. I think there's maybe a happy medium where it can stop at some point and, go to single, but in general, I think for the most part, double elimination is pretty cool, and whatever the format is, we're here for it.
I love that. I love that you're behind the series. Good job. Go America. Thank you. Let's get him his check. And guys, let's give it up for Taylor Hall, your winner here at round 2 of Clutch Kickers at the beautiful MidPond. Let him hear it. And we're going to virtually high five and clap for all of our drivers out here today. This was an amazing round. Thank you so much to everyone who showed up to drive, putting on a great show, everyone who showed up watching at home in the live stream, supporting drifting, supporting your local tracks. Thank you so much, and I'm going to throw it back to you guys. I'm out today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Oh, thank you guys so much. Congratulations, Taylor. Congratulations, Cabot. Congratulations, JP. Fantastic weekend, hot as it may have been, but what a great way to celebrate the 4th of July. So
Awesome weekend of driving out here. Yep, it was a hot one, but we all persevered, the drivers, the staff. Thank you guys, everyone, for coming out, everyone for rocking with us on the live stream. Live stream events are harder than I ever could have thought to deal with or be a part of, but we're all learning here every day. Thank you for being with us while we are starting at the bottom and working into having a smooth rolling production. So thank you so much for being here. What a crazy weekend out here at MidPond in Columbiana, Alabama, as my brain starts failing in the later part of the day.
Well, before we sign off with you for today, please be sure to join us again for round 3 coming at you hot September 26th through 28th.
Round 4 on October 24th through 26th.
And then our grand finale for this season, round 5, November 21st through 23rd. I'm Tara McGlamory.
And I'm Austin Lawless.
We'll see you next time.